Ons verruil ons vryheid nog voor ons kon begin. En hulle hardloop, hardloop, hardloop na die Here en draai hul rug op die weste vir 'n ander plan. Van die Kaap na die Kremlin, Beijing na Havana, terwyl hulle Bantus Christus de heilige Hosanna. Ja, hulle hardloop, hardloop, hardloop na die Here, maar broer met die spoke in die woestyn se sand. Hulle neem die ou verdrukking en gee dit 'n nuwe naam aan 'n spelers aan die top, maar die spel is net so skaam. Patronage en armoede versprei soos 'n vuurskiet terwyl hul hand skot met tirane lê die skuldgevoel nie diep. Stagnasie in die water, korrupsie in die wind. Hulle mors die goeie erfenis wat ons nie weer sal vind. Hulle soek nie die stars en stripes, hulle soek die rassies rooi en gooi die skuld op Trump terwyl die land in is lê en skroei. Die veld word nou al donkerder, die droom is uit die mode. Hulle verpansel ons toekoms vir totalitaire gode. En hulle hardloop, hardloop, hardloop na die Here en draai hul rug op die weste vir 'n ander plan. Van die Kaap na die Kremlin, Beijing na Havana, terwyl hulle Bantus Christus se heilige Hosanna. Ja, hulle hardloop, hardloop, hardloop na die Here en broer met die spoke in die woestyn se sand. Oorlogskepe in die hawe, skadies op die kaai. Die ANC is besig terwyl die wêreld vinnig draai. Hulle hou van die eystervuis, die partylyn so streng, terwyl hulle ons na die bouvalle van die tempel bring. Hulle waap al die pad na Teheran, saam op die bandwagon, tot ziens aan die reënboog met spookachtige ster. Ons hardloop al die pad na The Wyatt Army marches on. For decades in the uniform, he held the land so tight, defending freedom everywhere from morning into night. From Europe down to Africa, the Middle East and home, the colonel hung his boots up, thought he'd rest his weary bones. He looked upon the world today, the chaos and the noise, and saw the messy circus of the digital decoys. He couldn't sit in silence, no, he couldn't look away. He waited in the battle, ready for a brand new day. They tried to shut the signal down, the shadow and the band, but you cannot stop the spirit of a mission-driven man. Folks took notice of the voice, the clarity, the spark, and gathered round the fire. He lit inside the dark, and the Wyatt Army marches on. The signal is steady, the confusion is gone. We don't need the fancies from the leftist side. We've got the colonel and the truth as our guide. Yeah, the Wyatt Army marches on until the fake news twilight turns to dawn. We see the objective, we know where we belong. The Wyatt Army marches on. From the loyal subscribers to the trolls beneath the bridge, to the hate wankers hiding on the digital ridge. It matters not who's listening, the evil or the kind, because the colonel's got the drive to open up the mind. Legacy media serving up the lens of lies and fake, but we shatter all the mirrors for the future's sake. Energy and enthusiasm breaking through the screen, the sharpest moral clarity the world has ever seen. They tried to shut the signal down, the shadow and the band,
Good evening, folks. Welcome back. Tonight, still the penultimate day of 2025. It is the 30th of December, 2025. For our friends in Europe and Africa and points further east, it's already New Year's Eve. So let's just very quickly check on something here. I want to see if we're okay. I just want to make sure that everything's all right. Just a moment here. Zoe?
Yes, Colonel. How may I assist you?
Can we do a sound check?
How may I assist you?
Oh, she's back. All right, she's repeating there. All right, there you go. Thanks a lot, Zoe. All right, so Zoe says the sound is all right. We're good to go. Just double check. Thanks a lot, Zoe. Okay, cool. All right, welcome back. Yeah, YouTube censorship is off the charts when it comes to the Somalia issue. You notice I haven't done a lot of coverage on it. I will talk about it tonight, though. Let's say hello to everybody in the chat. We got a super chat up there already. Bex, welcome to you. Work people, Charles Van Altz on our Voice of Reason. Chris Marie. Sloth Puppy, one of the OGs there. Good to see you again. Bex, Angelique, Karen Long. Your furry alarm clock lets you sleep an extra half hour. Wow. She must have lost track of time, had a dream, that furry alarm clock. Answers in P, welcome to you. AJ Quinn, Mandy Van Rooyen, Paul de Klerk. Yeah, you say thank God it's the last day of 2025. I'm going to actually miss 2025, and I think 2026 is not going to be particularly good. There's been some really great stuff happen this year. I know not everybody sees it that way, but America was saved, possibly the world. The tariffs worked. They didn't destroy America's economy. The economy continued to grow. The government slimmed down. Our trade deficit narrowed. Our revenue to the federal government increased. Our spending by the federal government has been contained, not stopped, but it's been contained. And we stopped Iran's nuclear ambitions, at least temporarily. Lots of wonderful things happened this year. The Springboks won 12 14 games they played. That was really great. So there's been some really good things this year. But there's also been some headaches, for a lot of people. Dirk, what's going on? Petros van der Linde, Valencia Quinn, Denise Bellingham, Charles Langenhofen, Lee Ann McCaskill. Hey, Leanne, how's it going? Martin, fine to have it. Okay. Happy New Year to the Ohio family. Thank you so much for that, Maurice. Yeah, we're going to wind up on a whimper here with Super Chats, I think, at the end of the year. We were doing pretty good there around the Christmas time that day. It was really good. Slowest day of the month for views, but let's expect it's Christmas Day. People hopefully are spending it with their family and friends, but some people don't have all those friends around, so spending with us is always an option for them. But it was a good Super Chat day. Rian Cronia, welcome to you. Jules, good morning. I can't believe the year has gone so fast. Yeah, I hope the new year is better for everybody. Gail, what's up? And Hendo's saying, yeah, see it in Ohio, folks complaining, same fraud, Maryland, Virginia, D.C. Oh, I'm sure that's here in Pennsylvania as well. There's, I'm sure, a lot of fraud. Our criminal in chief, also known as the governor, Josh Shapiro, the man who failed to uphold election law in 2020, sits in the governor's mansion. And I'm sure there's all kinds of fraud on his watch. That's why I ran for office, so I could be a voice, a reason up there in Harrisburg and stop it. Cash Patel, we'll see. Okay. Good evening, Antoinette Niemann. Xavier Grayling is back. Chaos Juggler's here. Chaos Juggler's a lady. Jan Oberholzer, welcome to you. Yeah, Minnesota's a drop in the bucket of their fraud. Yeah, I know. And we knew it. And they just ignore it. The media doesn't cover it. They get away with it. The leftist controlled government, the media kowtows to them to say the things they want to say and hide these things. Oh, yeah, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And they're just like in the United Kingdom, they're going after law-abiding citizens to try to expose the fraud and accuse them of harassment, trespassing, and all kinds of other nonsense, racism. No, they're just exposing the frauds. And the fact that these people come from a corrupt society where this is acceptable norm for many people, it's not here. So lots to talk about tonight, folks. You sent me an email this morning, Lawrence. Okay. There it is. Oh, that's when we were talking earlier. Okay, hang on. Let me read your thing real quick. Yeah, Lawrence, reading your email, I still understand why your wife wasn't the main applicant. It just would have been simpler. Why didn't you just do that? You should be granted based on hers. Okay. Meyer Prinsloo, 250 rand, almost said 25. Thank you for that. Those clouds are gathering. My hand is itching. Is that a wives' tale when people are talking about your hand itches? Yeah. Nick Shirley probably made the most viral video, 25. Could be. Smart guy. Yeah, now we know who voted for Kamala. Yeah, well, we always knew. We always knew. Remember, she's a pretend black, and Somalis are pretend blacks too. A lot of pet owners happy at container fireworks got a light and destroyed the contents. They had to close the road. Why will pet owners be happy that happened? Oh, because of the noise. Okay, gotcha. Just want to drop this quickly. Our caseworker in Greensboro is fantastic. 2 weeks and almost have everything. They're excellent. Wow. Are we on? That's cool. So when you coming on the program, tell everybody about your experience. Yeah. Oh yeah, the fact that Waltz the fact that Waltz and Shapiro were considered just shows you how stupid the Democrats are. First off, I mean, I have no problem with who becomes the president as far as their faith or their ethnicity. But I'm going to tell you right now, a Jew will not be the president or the vice president of the United States in my lifetime. Just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's too many people that have bigotry against a person who's like that. I mean, it was amazing that a Catholic was elected in 1960. That was still shocking. But actually, the election was stolen in 1960, so we know that a Catholic wasn't elected. John Kennedy's election was stolen from Nixon. We know that. But no, it's not going to happen. So why they would have picked Josh Shapiro to be the vice president, I just cannot get it. Also, Tim Walz has so many red flags. The guy's a stolen valor scumbag. He abused his limited reserve component time to pretend that he had combat-related injuries to get out of drunk driving charges. He is a weasel. He's a scumbag, a leftist. There are a number of Americans who will volunteer to serve in the military and go into the reserve component, even if you do it on active duty, just so they can punch a ticket and say, I'm a veteran. They have no understanding of what it means to serve and sacrifice this nation. Doing 3 or 4 years in the Army, Navy, Air Force, and sitting at Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas or in San Diego or at Grafenwehr means you can serve the country honorably, but it doesn't make you a subject matter expert in geopolitics, which is what they later claim to be. Even people who served in pseudo combat, like what's his name? There's Swift Boat John Kerry. He really had no idea what Vietnam was all about. Anyway. No, Waltz wouldn't have groomed Rubio. We're talking about Tim Walz. That's the governor of Minnesota. We're not talking about Rubio in the Congress. We're talking about the governor of Minnesota, he is in so deep in this fraud that I hope that they find ties to him so he can be prosecuted. Spends the rest of his natural life in jail. He's such a weasel, such a disgusting clown. Does it only mean understanding this? People leave and flee their oppression countries in exchange for the freedoms of the U.S. UK. Only later want the same oppressive regime in a new country. Well, yes and no. Yeah, that's part of it. The other part of it is that people come. This is a recent development. That's not how the norms in the past. In the past, people would flee and adopt the norms of a new country and become part of that country and assimilate. They would retain things that are important to them culturally, linguistically, distinctively, like cotillion, like Rumspringa, things like that. They would retain those things in languages, it's like Spanish and German, or Akkadian French. But today we have that happening also, but most people are simply fleeing for economic reasons, and they are too dim-witted or too ignorant or too selfish or too bigoted to realize that the reason that their country failed is the culture that they have. Their broken culture, and they try to replicate their broken culture here and destroy America without realizing it because they're just dim-witted. Yes, is that a harsh statement? No, it's a fact. It's a fact. Pence will not get any traction in an election. He cut his own throat when he attacked Donald Trump after he was out of office. Yeah. Of course, the South Africans keep their shorts and bras and call everyone brew. Absolutely. But they better damn well learn English, and they better damn well adhere to our norms. No, Xavier, that's an oversimplification, but yeah, it's pretty true. Bitcoin JC, how you doing, man? Tampon Tim is a real crap bird. He needs a decent South. Yeah, exactly, Myra. Rainier von Rensburg, welcome to you. And CB, thank you for the super chat. Clouds are gathering. People let off the band, Big Bang. Oh, gotcha. Thank you, Karn. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan about those pyrotechnics. Okay, let's cover a couple news items real quick, and then we'll chat some more, okay? Shorts in the cold didn't work in Idaho. No, I'm sure it didn't. Hey, who was that said something about their agent is very good? And I said, hey, when you coming out? And he went silent. He went radio listening silence. So let me recount that. A refugee comes in and says, yeah, no, we're having a great experience. It's wonderful here in Kansas. It's wonderful in Kansas. Our agent's fantastic. Yeah, it's great. Why don't you come on and let us know how your experience was? Beep. That's pretty good. Look, I was actually frozen, didn't it? I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. Anyway, so let's get to some of this news here I want to talk about. South Africa hosts joint naval exercise with BRIC plus countries. South African National Defense Force confirmed it will host a joint naval exercise from the 9th to 16th of January. In an official statement, the South African National Defense Force said China would lead the joint interagency, interdepartmental, and multinational exercise entitled Will for Peace 2026. Huh? Isn't it Operation MOSI 3? Now they're changing the name? What happened to MOSI 3? Huh. Is this the wrong news? No, that's from 30 December. The event will be held under the theme Joint Actions to Ensure the Safety of Shipping and Maritime Economic Activities. The only navy in the world that ensures the global sea lanes are safe and functional is the United States Navy. We do the job that the British Navy did for centuries. The media confirmation is that Iranian naval vessels around South Africa to participate in Operation alongside Russia, making it increasingly difficult for the government to maintain that South Africa is generally pursuing a policy of non-alignment. Yeah, so are they changing the name of the exercise? So this is the nail in the South African ANC's coffin. They are busy with a spade, a shovel, digging their own political grave. Well, Tokolosh, South Africa has 2 grounded cruisers or frigates, however you want to classify them, from the Germans. It also has 3 non-functional Type 209 diesel submarines. And it has, I think 16 of the 18 remaining Gripens, 2 of which are operational. Only one has a qualified pilot to fly it. Presumably that's instructor pilot, IP, because who else could be flying? And and they used to have C-47s for naval maritime patrolling of the shoreline, but they've crashed 3 of those in the past 20 years. Yes, drills are supposed to enhance readiness of force and build in muscle memory on how to do things, but you actually have to have a force to train, and a healthy force. Rian says, Arctic says the colonel only picks on the cool brews. Oh, my goodness, yeah. Look, it's Charlie's Angels again. My daughter and her friends used to pose like that in high school. Yeah, they do like the Charlie's Angels, don't they? Look, it's said to have Charlie's Angels. Those are actually U.S. military. Aren't they? Those look like U.S. military. No, that's Brazilian. They're Brazilian. Those are like those aren't South African, are they? It says they're South African National Defense Force, but those are U.S. military uniforms, and the patches look like U.S. military. Whatever, they look like Charlie's Angels, don't they? Oh, it was Rihanna I was picking on. Heinrich Kaneda, welcome to you. 2020 is going to be wheels coming off vibes already. Yeah, I think the wheels are coming off, man. So I don't want to get it stuck in your head, but that stupid song just definitely got in my head. Yeah, they definitely don't look South African. They look very American. Let me try to zoom in and see if I can see that a little bit better. On the helmet, the guy has a Brazilian flag. And it says, what is that? AWC. Yeah, how many South Africans do you know that run around with GoPros on in uniform? Yeah, they definitely do not look South African. I think they're Brazilian. I don't know when they would have been there, but here you go. So here it is. Let's take a look at that. So I've zoomed in as high as I can get it. If you look at the guy on the right, the Charlie's Angel on the right-hand side, his head is turned. On the top of his helmet, he's got a Velcro patch there, and that's the Brazilian flag in camouflage. And then over his right shoulder, he's got something stenciled there. And the other guy also has the Brazilian flag on his left sleeve, if you look at it above the patch. I think those are Brazilians. Hard to say. Yeah, the wheels better come off the Rand so I can come back to South Africa. It's getting too expensive for me to come to South Africa, man. Getting too expensive. Yes, yes, that's right. Jan van Riebeck showed up in 1652 with a larger navy than South Africa has now. There they hand out the KFC. What role are they playing? Well, they'll have one Navy ship, one cruiser, and two smaller vessels. I don't know. Probably the Drakensberg if it's still functional. No magazine. The rifle doesn't look like as threatening as they think. Yeah, exactly. There's no magazine in the rifle. You are correct about that. Yep. Light rain, that's good. I left my jacket inside and ran to the car outside. It was shaking so much I thought I'd chip my teeth. Gosh, what's going on with my microphone? Okay, is this still working, guys? Let me know if my mic's still working because the color just started changing on its own. This has been happening a lot in the last 24 hours. Let me get into the software. There we go. Okay. All right, let me change the color of my mic. Let's pick another color, guys. Let's see what we get here. Let's try confetti. I don't like that. That's different color. That's breathing. I don't like that. Cycle. Nah. Let's just go to solid, and I'll pick a different color. It's kind of a purple in there. Okay, there we go. We'll go with that color. How's that? Okay. All right, thank you for the sound, guys. Yeah, because the microphone just started changing colors. That's when the software is doing its own thing because it's controlled by software. So, all right, thanks. Yeah, so the South African leadership under the African National Congress and Ronald, I can understand what refugee status is, Lamola, is cutting its own throat. Iran has declared war with Europe, Israel, and the United States. And what does South Africa do? Invites them to a naval exercise. Well, we got the purple ninja mic back. There you go, Arctic, right there. Yep. Reserve Bank have enough runway to maintain the current levels at least another year. Only something U.S. intervening with some new policies. Yeah. Oh, you mean the exchange rate? Yeah. That's true. That's true. Although no government officials gone on record to confirm the BRICS exercise last week, well-placed source told News 24 that South Africa would host MOSI 3 in January after it was postponed in November, so it's not to coincide with the G20 Leaders Summit. Yep. Chris Hatton of the DA says it reflects a deliberate willingness to accept alignment with authoritarian states while hiding behind the language of non-alignment to avoid accountability. Yep. 166 watching and 71 likes. Okay, yeah, there's an incongruity there. That's for sure, Mace. There's a big word, Lord. Incongruity. My one uncle worked for the Navy in Simonstown. My other uncle worked for the fire department in Woodstock. Both retired. Oh, wow, that sucks. Show them the original purple mic. The one that blows my headphones off when you get pissed off. I don't know what you mean by the original purple mic. It's the same one. This is my third HyperX. I broke one. The other one didn't want to work properly, and this one has more controls on it. The original one, I didn't break. The second one, it stopped working because I knocked it over. The first one was red. Okay. Okay, will be cheaper for me to visit. Okay, well, great. Let's go ahead and plan it then. Okay, so when should I come? When should I come? Oh, by the way, today I started slimming down and saving some money. No, not my body, my news appetite. I canceled 2 services today. I canceled Linktree. That's $72 a year wasted. Nobody ever comes to my channel because of Linktree. And I also ended my China Africa subscription, which is $150 a year, and I get nothing out of that. So that saves me $222 a year. So that's pretty good. So that saves me about 3,800 Rand a year. Or 3,500 Rand. So that's a good start right there. Good start to the year to save that money. Yeah, well, that would mean I only visit once this year. I don't remember a purple mic. How drunk were you? I don't know, man. This microphone I've had, the other one was purple, more purple than, I can make it more purple than that. Let me see. I can go deep purple. Okay, let's see. Let's change this a little bit. Come on, bring the software up again. Light sync. Let's try a deeper purple here. That's a little brighter purple there. Wheels been off for a long time. The rims were stolen, just sliding the momentum. Yeah, exactly. Well, Chaos Jogger, yeah, the wheels have been off. It's just that nobody was paying attention. The anti-U.S. propaganda is kicking off in Namibia as well. Read a local newspaper article questioning the size of U.S. Embassy in Windhoek. Well, I question the size of money we give. Plastic was purple. Okay, Arctic, I'll trust your memory, but I can't think of a purple one. Yep. Yes, the mic was red at a stage. That's correct, Theo. That was the original one of these. This is the HyperX. Yanni Fundervault turned me on to this microphone, but it's so expensive at the time. So I bought this, the first one. It was like $200. I'm not spending $200 on a microphone. That was too much money. So I put it in my Microsoft bin, and when it dropped down on sale to like $129, I bought the first one, and I had that, and I used it, that red one. Then they came out with a new one that changed the colors and had better controls and better quality. That was this one. I bought the first one, and I used it for a long time, but then it didn't want to work properly. I kept having all kinds of trouble with the mic because I knocked it over too many times. So this is the third one of these. This one I got for like 99 bucks. Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember plastic being purple, but the mic was red. That's right, Theo. The first one was red. I didn't like the red color. I like how I can change the color here. And my keyboard is currently also set up the same way. You can see that it's purple too. See, keyboard's purple. Of course, people that know me know that that's because I like the color purple. Oh, that crap in my keyboard. Good Lord. The keyboard's all the way over there, and I still got crap falling out of it. You got to clean your stuff occasionally, folks. I do this periodically, but wow, it's a lot more crap than I expected to fall out of my keyboard. A lot more crap. No food, though. That's good. Anyway, so yeah. Obviously, I like the color purple. Not the movie. The color purple. Still don't know why they called the movie Color Purple. Was there spousal abuse? Ouch. Okay. Congress going to be very busy. Yeah, they are going to have to work really hard to avoid another shutdown. Your grandfather joined the British Navy and said a pole was attached to sailors and they were thrown in the river to learn to swim. Daily Thames bought his way out and joined the Army. That's wild. Yeah, there you go. Rainbow Nation died in 2000. We only had a funeral in 2005. I think that's a fair date, but I would say that the date we can definitely attribute it to is 2008. The Polokwane massacre is when the Rainbow Nation died. Not that it was healthy before that. We had a lunatic in the executive office in South Africa who had a small penis complex and failed to recognize that HIV is the proximate cause of AIDS and got over 500,000 South Africans killed because of his arrogance and his ass-hattery and his racist bigotry. Yeah, so I would say that started before that. But the real date we can mark clearly is when Jacob Zuma's Polokwane massacre took place in Petersburg. Well, I'd say 2008, Hendo. Yeah, we were around the same time frame. All right. So Operation Mosi 3, that is the death knell for South Africa's government. The Trump administration has frozen child care payments to Minnesota. Yes! Oh, happy days. Amid federal investigation into alleged fraud. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says it's frozen all child care payments to the state of Minnesota as the FBI and Department of Homeland Security investigate allegations of fraud, including at child care centers in the latest show of federal force in the state, home to the country's largest Somali population. Deputy Secretary of Health and Human Services Jim O'Neill announced the funding freeze today, weeks after ICE launched operations in Minneapolis-St. Paul to specifically target undocumented Somali immigrants, precipitated by revelations about widespread fraud. Stepped-up effort also comes days after YouTube content creator Nick Shirley, who has created anti-immigrant, anti-Muslim videos in the past, posted a viral video in which he claimed to find widespread fraud. Well, he did find widespread fraud, and the video is not anti-Somali, not anti-immigrant, you racist pigs at CNN. By the way, folks, I've done you all a favor. CNN has moved everything behind a paywall. You can't watch anything anymore. The failing network is desperate for cash, and they think the answer is to put everything behind a paywall. That's not the answer. What you put behind a paywall is special articles of interest that people be willing to pay for. But they've moved behind the paywall. So the only way I can report their news now is by having a paid subscription. So I am a paid subscriber to CNN as of this week. Yes, I know. It's horrible. But somebody has to read the propaganda there to refute it, other than leftists. Federal government, but yeah, that's what I'm getting at. All payments to so-called daycares in Wisconsin as well. Thank you for that, Cost Chameleon. In addition to demanding a state audit of the Minnesota daycare centers featured in the video, O'Neill said the agency would now require justification receipts of photo evidence for all payments to states from the Department's Administration of Children and Families. Funds will be released only when states prove they are being spent legitimately. Minnesota receives $185 million in federal child care funding for 19,000 children. Announcement did not specify any alternate plans. So they're attacking Nick Shirley when they should be attacking Tim Walz. Tim Walz's administration claimed they spent years cracking down the fraud by referring cases to law enforcement, shutting down auditing high-risk programs, but there's no evidence of that. None. Kash Patel said the Bureau had already surged resources to Minnesota even before the public conversation escalated online. What officials called a surge of federal resources follows a viral YouTube video by Shirley, a 23-year-old self-styled independent journalist who posts content on social media with a conservative bent. In a video posted Friday, Shirley visits and tries to enter several child care centers in Minnesota he suggests are not actually operational, although he claims they're receiving government funding through the state's child care assistance program. Shirley does not specify the days when he visited most of the centers, which he claimed are Somali-run, saying only he visited one at midday. No, we saw him go to several places where there's Somalis, and we saw how they treated him. They're very rude to him. They called the police and accused him of trespassing, but they have a business presumably open to the public, and he didn't do anything to violate their property. CNN is looking at these centers to identify the video. It's reached out to several of them. The video shows Shirley escorted out of one building by police after reports he was trespassing. While I have a question about some of the methods that were used in the video, we do take the concerns the video raised about fraud very seriously, says Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Families Commissioner Tiki Brown. Well, I take the methods that CNN uses for journalism very questionable after what they did in the so-called documentary on how South Africa is doing in advance of the G20, turned into misinformation, white genocide, scam documentary. Yeah, I take exception to their reporting. Yeah, I haven't forgot that Fauci played a role in the AIDS epidemic. He blamed hemophiliacs and children for it. He's a disgusting scumbag who makes over $500,000 a year in retirement. It's sickening. I don't get $500,000 in retirement. I certainly sacrificed more for this country than Dr. Fauci did. And that little prick gets gets royalty payments from procedures and drugs that were developed for the government, and he gets it. This scam that's been allowed to go on for decades, letting those doctors and those scientists and researchers get royalties, that's not their intellectual property. That's the intellectual property of the American people. They shouldn't be getting a penny from that. If they want to get intellectual property rights and make money off the things they develop, then they should go in the private sector and not live off the government teat. The guy who developed the Post-its for 3M, he's not a billionaire. He worked for 3M. He took something, had an idea, and there you go. That's their intellectual property, not his. Well, Caustic, they're talking about his channel. I don't really follow Mr. Shirley's channel, but I did see the video, so I don't know. But you're right. How can you have a conservative bet when you're just reporting the truth? Well, it's like the Kiftis, a right-wing racist. Now, the Kiftis is a left-wing. That's probably one reason why he won't come to my program. Ronaldo's left to center. He's left to center. I'm not. So, yeah, but that's just how they call people. They call them things they think will stick to them. They try to tar and feather them, things they think will insult them and diminish their credibility. It's like the asshats running around saying I spread misinformation, disinformation. People who object and watch my program know that that's poppycock. And so they undermine their own credibility by lying about me. But there's a echo chamber of retards who love that nonsense and believe anything they're told. I mean, I've seen some of the comments. My viewers are very loyal, and I'm very grateful for that. They send me screenshots from other channels where people run their mouth, and some of the people here, not everybody in the chat tonight recently, but some have been in the chat, and they come in here and pretend to be friends of the channel and pretend to chat and be friendly. And then they go on other programs and say, yeah, I can't stand that guy. And he's so rude. He hates Afrikaners. He's so rude. He's disrespectful to South Africans. He's so full of himself. No, I'm not full of myself. You're full of it. You know what you're talking about. Anyway, so, yeah, no, the world is full of strange people. Remember this? That was a waste of money. Yes, they also fund the Democrats. Yeah, that's the grift. So the video I saw, so I've got more on this from the New York Post. New York Post is, unlike the CNN, New York Post is actually covering this effectively. CNN is trying to pretend that some right-wing racist is covering it, so it must not be true. They're distracting by calling Shirley a right-wing racist, in essence. That's basically what they're saying. He's not, but they're basically saying he's a right-wing racist to distract from what's actually going on. Meanwhile, the New York Post, the oldest newspaper in the state of New York, which is conservative, says shocking unearthed footage shows parents pretending to drop kids off in a Minnesota daycare. So there's no report on this. This was reported at 6:51 this morning. So it's already 16, 17 hours ago this was reported, and CNN's still not on this story. Shocking unearthed video from a 2018 state fraud case shows Minnesota parents. So this happened 7 years ago, before COVID even happened. Shows Minnesota parents dropping their children off at a daycare center and then leaving with the kids moments later as authorities probe a rampant billion-dollar fraud scheme in Minneapolis. In the surveillance footage dated 2015, so it's 10 years ago, obtained by Fox 9's, parents are seen signing their kids into the facility so providers could bill the state for full days of care for children who didn't actually attend. For some days, no families would even show up at all, but the daycares would still claim reimbursements from the government, the outlet reported at the time. This is 10 years ago. They gave kickbacks to the parents involved. Another video obtained by Fox 9 shows a man handing an envelope to a parent with an alleged kickback payment for participating in the scheme. The clips, which were recorded in 2015 but only came to light in 2018, resurfaced amidst outrage sparked by the viral videos. So I've told you guys, people reported on this for years, and Waltz and the Demon Rats in Minnesota covered it up. They had YouTube censor anybody who put stuff on there. Twitter was censoring the people who put stuff there, reporting on this years ago. I remember talking about this early stages of COVID, about, purported fraud in healthcare and in childcare. And that's why I said this childcare, we shouldn't be subsidizing childcare. If people pay for it themselves, there won't be fraud. Yeah, it's absolutely, this has been going on. And that's 2015 when it came to the official's attention. How many years before that was it going on? How many years before that was this going on? The clips, which were recorded in 2015 but only came to light in 2018, resurfaced amid outrage sparked by a viral video from independent journalist Nick Shirley showing multiple child care centers in Minnesota that had received millions in state funding despite appearing inactive. U.S. Education Secretary Linda McMahon called the alleged fraud a breathtaking failure. Minnesota authorities began cracking down on the schemes in 2014, and by 2018, authorities were looking into dozens of businesses suspected of bilking millions of dollars. So the government began looking to it in Minnesota in 2014. Minnesota Governor Tim Waltz has come under fire for alleged scams involving Medicaid-funded disability, including a housing program that seniors and disabled people find and move into housing. The scam has been largely tied to Minnesota's migrant Somali community. Surveillance video here. A misspelled sign showing the Quality Learning Center, not learning, but Learning Center in Minneapolis. FBI Director Kash Patel said the agency has deployed personnel and investigative resources in Minnesota as part of an ongoing effort to dismantle large-scale fraud schemes. We've been going bankrupt because they've been giving billions of dollars away like this for years. Our corrupt government officials in Washington and in our state capitals, like Harrisburg. Yep. Yes, the world-class infrastructure and the existing systems were in place. The capital markets, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, the intellectual capacity of the universities were enough to carry South Africa for 15 to 20 years. The wheels have been coming off. You can't do it forever. In no way do you ever get them out now. Get who out? Oh, we'll get these Somalis out now. As long as it's during the Trump administration, if they're convicted of immigration fraud, they will be deported back to Somalia. I'm not aware of Ohio being as bad as Minnesota, but it doesn't surprise me. We had a Democratic governor for a bit there. Somali skin to Minnesota. I have no idea what you're saying there. ICE is already there, Phoenix. They're already rounding up. Seems like the cost to buy votes in Minnesota is around $9 billion. You're right, Dirk. That's right, Chris. So they walked in with their kids, who aren't even Americans. These people walked in and were given money that came from the federal taxpayer, me, and the state of Minnesota. They were given to provide child care for these parents who don't do anything. They sit at home and collect welfare payments and are just a drain on society. Why we ever let them in this country, I have no idea. And they take their kids in, they sign in, and then those sheets are turned in to claim benefits for kids that are never watched. It's just a scam. Deport them all and keep their looted riches. And again, well, the money's already gone. A lot of it went to Al-Shabaab. Yep, a lot of money's been sent back to Al-Shabaab, according to officials. Well, the child grant, SASA grant, that's any government that gives people money to have children, you got to question them. The exceptions like a dying population like Japan, I understand why they do it. Germany started doing it long before they had a dying population, and it actually it accelerated the dying population. Yeah, the stupid Kindergeld concept. And now they give it to Muslim families and Asian families and South Asian families and Central Asian families come there and have 10 kids. They're not even German. They're getting more money than Germans get. It's insane. No, I didn't see about change police uniform. Remember when the flag was changed a couple years ago? Do you guys remember that? Remember the Minnesota flag? I wonder if I still have that in my download folder. I don't do much in Minnesota, so it should be here. There's a Hmong. No, it's not here. I had the Minnesota flag. Remember that controversy? Yeah, they saw one child at 10 child care centers. They went into a healthcare center. He was asking if he could sign up for healthcare, and it was just empty offices. It was just a fraud. So here's another fraud, another Biden regime criminal enterprise. $5 billion in questionable rental assistance under the Biden regime revealed, including thousands to deceased tenants and non-citizens. A U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development report found more than $5 billion in taxpayer funds went to questionable rental assistance recipients during the final year of the Biden regime, including 30,000 deceased tenants and thousands of potential non-citizens. A large concentration of suspicious payments went to New York, California, and Washington, D.C. Well, surprise, 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 with dead recipients getting at least some funds in all 50 states and what federal officials are calling widespread abuse of taxpayer dollars under the Biden regime. A massive abuse of taxpayer dollars not only occurred under President Joe Biden's watch, but was effectively incentivized by his administration's failure to implement strong financial controls, resulting in billions worth of potential improper payments. HUD will continue investigating the shocking results and will take appropriate action to hold bad actors accountable. Additionally, the department is advancing efforts made under President Trump's first administration to strengthen program integrity. HUD's Office of Chief Financial Officer uncovered $5.8 billion of questionable payouts out of nearly $50 billion in total federal rental assistance. 183-page report. Wow. The 11% of taxpayer funds from HUD went to more than 200,000 possibly ineligible tenants, of whom 29,715, 14% were dead. 9,472, 4% were non-citizens, and 165,393 were receiving sums that exceeded the threshold for assistance for the geographic region, particularly New Orleans and other large metro areas. The HUD program is designed to help low-income residents who couldn't otherwise be able to afford shelter, and the possible grift means that those truly in need could have been left out in the cold. Wow. So there's Trump's HUD secretary, Scott Turner. I'm sorry, is he black? I thought Trump was a racist. Why is this housing and urban developer a black guy? I thought Trump was a racist. Isn't that what they said? You notice the racist thing has disappeared. They don't really call Trump a racist much anymore. They do call him leader of the white supremacist movement, but they don't call him a racist much. Well, the Somalis are going to have a new day of reckoning here. No, it does clearly resemble the Somali flag. Yeah, they claim it didn't. Yeah, pissing trillions away. Oh, yeah, we if we put all this crap together, we probably got over $1 trillion of fraud. Yeah, she's an EMT and never serves as a fireman. That's just dumb. That's dumb. She has no discernible leadership skills either. Boy, this story keeps going on, folks. I didn't even tell you the rest of it. By February 2024, midway through the 2024 fiscal year, federal prosecutors in the Southern District of New York ended up charging 70 current and former employees of the New York City Housing Authority, the largest in the country, for taking cash kickbacks. So the New York City, under Eric Adams, had 70 employees and former employees taking kickbacks for these payments to low-income housing. Wow. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams declared that by the end of the decades-long scheme, comprising as much as $2 million in corrupt payments, $13 million in no-bid contracts, was the largest single-day bribery takedown in the history of the Justice Department. Wow. Unbelievable. Hey, what are the 5 safest African cities? Anyone want to guess the 5 African safest cities in Africa? Take a guess. Give me some picks. The safest cities in Africa, okay? I talked about Iran's currency collapse, Theo, when my guest was on here not on here, I'm sorry, on the Truth Report a few weeks back. In fact, I haven't looked at the Truth Report in a while. Let me take a look at that. On the Truth Report. So I talked to him about that, and he mentioned the currency collapse, and I'm not surprised. It's not a real economy. It's a rogue state. It needs to be brought to heel. So I'm looking for the Truth Report. Okay, let me see what we got here. $111,000 subscribers now. Well, we had 11,000 a lot quicker. So now I'm looking for playlist. I'm looking for me. Okay. Still says 10 videos. Why does it not have all my videos on here? This is really starting to irritate me. Playlist doesn't have my videos. No wonder they're not getting attention. That's kind of irritating. The food socks one didn't do too well. Was Iran's regime is at war with its own people. Dr. Iraj Abedin. Yep, that was 11 days ago. Anyway, there you have it. All right, no, not crime stats. These are opinion polls. Okay, so let's look at the safety. Mauritius, Botswana, Rwanda. No, I said cities. Are they located in Sweden and Germany? That's funny, Light Rain. All right, here we go. So, Business Insider Africa, the 5 safest major African cities at the end of 2025. For investment, talent, regional relevance, one characteristic increasingly distinguishes those who succeed from those who don't. Safety. All right. In contrast, witnessing tremendous urbanization, cities widely perceived as safe are quietly acquiring an economic, social, and diplomatic advantage. Africa's safest cities on all the continent. Alexandria in Egypt, considered the best with a safety index of 54 out of, I guess, presumably out of 100. Tunis, where I used to live, second safest city in Africa. I would agree with that when I lived there, but it's been now over 20 years ago. Cairo, Casablanca. I've also been to Casablanca, and I would agree it's safe there. Nairobi, I'm a little surprised that it's as high as that. That's the 5 safest cities in Africa. Alexandria, Tunis, Cairo, Casablanca. 4 of the 5 safest cities in Africa are in Arab countries. Put the Colonel's video links to a live on the DA Facebook post. There you go. And then wake up. Well, okay, Dirk. Well, wait till you see the 5 least safest cities in Africa, okay? All right? So what do you think the 5 least safest cities in metropolitan areas? What are the 5 African commercial hubs with the lowest safety index in 2025? All right, so in all of Africa, what are the least safe towns, okay? Ann says, I got Cairo. Well, I've been to Tunis, man. It's very safe. Sinbad cities. Johannesburg, Peter Maritzburg, okay. Pretoria, Orania, Devent, smartass. Okay, here we go. The 5 commercial hubs with the lowest safety index for the whole continent of Africa. 54 countries, 1.4 billion people. Here are the 5 worst. Okay, Amazing Yacht Destinations: Johannesburg, Durban, Bloemfontein, Cape Town, East London. All right, here you go. The 5 least safe cities. You ready? Pretoria is the worst in Africa. Johannesburg is second worst. Durban is right behind it. Then Port Elizabeth and Cape Town. All of them are south of Zambezi. You're right about that, Artie. The 5 least safe metropolitans in Africa. No, it's not Mogadishu. It's not Kinshasa. It's not Kigali. It's Pretoria, Johannesburg, Durban, Port Elizabeth, and Cape Town. Wow. That is, there you go. So this is what the African National Congress has accomplished in 31 years of governance. Well done, boys. Well done. That's just amazing. We're not at 120,000 subscribers. That'd be nice. We are not going to make it. I got 1 day left to make it to that 100,000 for the year. And let me take a look. I think we're going to be 1,000 short, at least 1,000 short. Let me see. So for 2025, okay, 2025, well, I am at, no, Jesus, is this right? It still says 99,900. That 98,000. That's BS. I've gained 200 subscribers last 2 days, and it still says 98,900. That can't be right. Let me take a look and see. Okay, 98,949 from okay. That see, that says January 4th. That's BS too. What kind of stat is it? It should be from January 1st. Oh, that's compared to last year. Yeah. Yeah. So we are, according to this, 1,011 short of making 100,000. That's because it's really trended off here. We had a long period there from July. Yeah, from July all the way until December, we were hardly getting any subscribers every day. I mean, one day we had, let me see, was it 3 people on October 25th gained 3 subscribers. I lost 16 on September 24th and 0 on September 19th. Yeah, it's difficult to grow your channel when that's happening. Yeah, we got to 100,000 pretty quickly, and then YouTube put the kibosh back on the channel again. Yeah, we're at 119,445, growing so slowly right now. Somebody said they love the AI voice of Zoe. You should have seen Durban in the 2010s. They occupied entire blocks in Point Road. Hard to get them out of there. I did see Durban in the 2010s. Recent tourism poll had Cape Town the top 5 safest cities rated by tourists. Yeah, okay, sure. Because the tourists go to Victoria and Alfred waterfront. Carlos is impressed. That's the first time South Africa got 100% on any poll. Twinkle toes and we live here. Yeah. Sven is not even shocked. Yeah. Maze, I wish we'd get that 120,000. Well, Mauritius is pretty safe, yeah. Orangutan Juice got one right. Karen Lieben, what's going on, Karen? Okay, it is only certain places dangerous, and these places are the ones created. Yep, certain places. Well, the Cape Flats, Mitchell's Plains, Kailicha, Guguletu. Yep. Pala Pala couches, yeah. Well, Pala Pala, man. Yeah, so by the way, for those folks who still don't know, I mentioned this time because this is when I have time to think about it, but the DJ Silver Eagle topic channel, hang on. Let's go there and see what's going on. 378 subscribers on it now, 84 videos. If you want to become a subscriber, it's free, and if you watch those videos with the music, it helps. Oh, you'll get some music. That's the AI music that I generate, the lyrics I come up with. That's on DJ Silver Eagle. If you want to sign up for it, it's just free. Go do it. Signing up for it doesn't make any money, but if you listen to the music there, I actually make more money there than I'm making. And if you want to buy this stuff, you can also get it on iTunes and Amazon. You're supposed to go get it from too. Let me go on Amazon and see if that's the case, because it's supposed to be there. Amazon. DJ Silver Eagle. DJ Silver Eagle. Okay. Nope, doesn't give me that. So let me go to digital music. Amazon Music. No, it's supposed to be on Amazon, but I don't see anything there. No. Isn't that interesting? Supposed to be there. Anyway. We run a lot of polls for our research. Not difficult to get the results you want. Yes, right question. Exactly. It's the way you frame questions that gets the answers you want. So many foreigners from other African countries that flooded South Africa will never be safe again if you want to make up a police force with locals. Yep. They should never have freed the terrorists. He even plagiarized a speech Marianne Williamson wrote. And we see what just a few thousand can do in Minnesota. Yep. Well, a few thousand. It's 80,000 in Minnesota. 80,000. That has to be because the other places don't even attempt to keep records. Same with rape stats. South Africa is obviously very unsafe, but nothing around Central Africa even counts crime numbers. That's true. No, you're right. You're right. It's true. Oh, okay. Karen, listen to me on YouTube. Thanks. Parts of East Rand starting to look like Brazzaville. Very late, but I would like to wish everyone here the last day of 2025. May all your wishes come true. Forget the French Foreign Legion takeover. Yep. Each person here posts 10 of the Colonel's videos randomly on X, face cloth, wherever you can. Face cloth. Is that Facebook? Don't get your channels banned, though. Karen Lieben says, I hope you're good. Well, I'm well. How about yourself, Karen? I'm tired. I'm a little bit knackered. It's been a long day. I mean, I didn't know if I had the energy. I posted this video 5 hours before the stream. But honestly, I didn't know. As the evening went on, I wasn't sure. I accomplished an awful lot today. I did a lot of tax-related stuff to start putting my expenses in play and when I pay for rental cars, and haven't got the lodging yet. I get some tolls, and I'm putting in the communications, for the subscriptions and things like that for itemized deductions. So that takes a lot of time. I did a bunch of that earlier. I went to the Veterans Organization today. I put together a job description. Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, hang on. Joe. Okay. Okay, cool. So I'm putting together a job description I did one for a manager and had people review it. None of which is my job, but I do these things, and I get all kinds of abuse from nasty people, but that's fine. So I got that done today. I already had done the description. I revised it and sent it out to people. I went over and spoke to the car place to have my car looked at on Monday because the check engine light came on. I called about the referral for the injection for my hip. They never put the referral in, so I can't get the treatment or I'll have to pay for the whole cost of it. So I called the orthopedic clinic and they didn't answer the phone, probably because it was at 4 o'clock. So tomorrow I'm going to have to run over there. Tomorrow will be a very busy day. Well, tomorrow is today for those in Europe and in South Africa and points further east, the 31st. On the 31st, I'm going to have to do an interview, or not interview. I do my live broadcast with Ronaldo at 10 o'clock my time. So 5 o'clock South Africa time, I'll be with Ronaldo. And then my news broadcast after that for about an hour and a half. And then I have to dig him out and scoot out of here and run up to the orthopedic clinic and try to get them to get that damn referral taken care of. And then I've got to go pick up my steam crabs at 2 p.m., come back here. And at 4:30 my time, I'll be doing a Happy New Year stream for South Africa because South Africa will have midnight at 5 p.m. my time. You're 7 hours ahead. So we'll be doing that. Then I have my radio show because it's Wednesdays. That will be on at 7 p.m. my time. And then after that's over, I will be doing our Christmas or our New Year's. Yeah, so that one, yeah, it's crazy. It's going to be very, 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 very busy day tomorrow. I'm not going to get any rest. No rest for the wicked. Yeah, one with Ronaldo, my news, yeah, and then three, at least three. Yep, and that's if I don't do any prepared videos. Exactly, Karen. The moment I stop doing content, the viewership dries off. I mean, that's what happened when I went to England. That's what killed the momentum of the channel. Well, not entirely. YouTube censorship and shadow banning hurt. But I wasn't doing the massive amount of content production. I did a lot of videos in England, but it was with an English IP address, and therefore it wasn't getting any traction because they weren't promoting any of it. So whenever I leave, that happens. So you guys never did say, yeah, I fixed the clock a couple days ago, Cindy, so it'll last for a week or so, then it'll be off again. Thank you, Ronell. May I be blessed. Yeah, Mandela said never again will one group oppress another group. Well, that wasn't true. Laverne, Fundamental, what's going on? Good to see you back. Yeah, I didn't get arrested in the UK. That is a win. That's true. Well, you guys never answered, or I didn't see if you answered. So, start a poll.
When is a good time for
Okay. All right, there's a poll, folks. Bushville. No, I don't do Mopani worms. Nope, I don't touch Mopani worms. I joined John Spot. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chaos Juggler. Appreciate that. Oh, Angelique's got to go. Take care, Angelique. How is it that homeless person getting along with needs? Homeless person has a place to stay until mid-late January. Also, I have to check to see. Someone offered to give them 3,000 Rand. I have to see if that panned out. Hang on a second. I don't know if it's happened yet, but and also food socks. Let me check and see if Carl got, because I gave Carl the address. Okay, so so we've got it set up. We've got it set up where she's found accommodation. Also, we've got at least 15 people have offered accommodation. Also, someone in Europe offered to pay for housing or hotel, but that wasn't necessary. In addition, I've put someone in touch who someone would contact me discreetly and has been hosting people that have been going up to the Joburg, Pretoria area for their interviews and providing them with rooms for almost nothing, dirt cheap. They can't handle everybody, but I have put that person in touch with one person from Durban who doesn't have the money and can't afford to pay for a proper hotel. The person that does this offers them a room when they come up for the interviews and also a meal. So very generous. And they reached out to me. So I'm going to leave it at that. We don't want to get attention on people who are helping. And I can't promise we'll help lots of people. Yeah, Dirk, I think you said August, September. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll see. August, September, it might be difficult. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, from those dates. Oh, no, that's the great thing about the White Army. There are a lot of people, and again, folks, there are wealthy people watch this show. They're not so generous with their super chats. A few are, but not all of them are. But that's fine. We don't expect anybody to be super generous with super chats. We appreciate it, but it's not required. No one should travel to South Africa voluntarily, in my opinion, says Twinkle Toes. It's only asking because you live so many places in Africa. A lot of locals that have offered those. No, I've never done Mopine. Well, they always tried. They've tried in Liberia. They tried to get me to eat goat all the time. Never happened. Wayne Nadir says, "Hey, from South Africa, I love your show. You're amazing. Thanks for an excellent show." Well, kia leboa. Buy a donkey. That's very kind of you. Not everybody feels the same way, and we have someone to deal with those people. Yes, we do. We have people who, when those people come along, and it's been a while since we've had an appearance. It's been a while since we had an appearance, but my friend here makes an appearance when people act like fools.
Yeah, go on by, say whatever. Hop to the left, Bunny's on the scene. Fur so clean, move sharp, he's mean. Eyes like fire, trolls start to quake. Mess with the bunny,
big mistake.
Bugger off, bunny, protector of peace. Jumping through the chaos, never on a leash. Trolls come lurking, but they can't pretend. The bunny's here and it's the bitter end. Bugger off, bunny, protector of peace. Jumping through the chaos, never on a leash. Trolls come lurking, but they can't pretend. The bunny's here and it's the bitter end. Connell's right hand and ears standing tall. One thumb from the foot sends him through the wall. Carrots in the pocket, wisdom in his paw. Trolls see the bunny, drop their jaw. Bounce, 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 the rhythm don't stop. Trolls try to climb but the bunny's on top. Guarded the garden, defender of the land. The bugger off bunny with the master plan. Bugger off bunny. Jumping through the chaos, never on a leash. Trolls come lurking, but they can't pretend. The bunny's here and it's the bitter end. Swift as a shadow, silent in the night. Trolls meet the bunny, then they take flight. Ears like antennas, catching every sound. The bugger off bunny, king of the ground.
Bob, the bugger off bunny. Yeah, it's the return of the bugger off bunny, folks. Gift from Thea van Straten in Joburg, or in Pretoria. She gave me bugger off Bob. The bugger off bunny. Been with us ever since. Bob hasn't been making much appearance lately, but he's still here. The bugger off bunny. There you go. Return of the bugger off bunny. We've done 3 songs about Bob. Yeah, we heard about those Frankenstein rabbits out there in the western states with the cancerous growth growing out of their face and their head. Looks like they got horns on it. It's pretty scary looking. Yeah, so return of the bugger off bunny, and then the bugger off bunny running for his life. Yeah, took some fresh Irish lasses there. Okay. Hey, Wayne Nadir, how's it going, man? All right, so 100 votes. That's a sample. Let's see what it says. Most people think January is not a good time. Probably because I won't get a good ticket. It's also hotter than heck. South Africa, man. It's so hot right now. Did it end? I thought it ended the poll. I don't see it showing up here. That's weird. The poll, oh, there it is. It's not showing up over here. Okay. 37% said February, 27% May, 19% January, 17% said July. Okay. Let's look at the Springboks 2026 Springboks 2026 test. Okay. Whoops. Bob fell. Sorry about that, man. Get rid of Bob. Okay, here's the test schedule 2026. Okay, July, they play at Ellis Park against England. The 11th, they play in Pretoria against Scotland. The 18th, they play in Durban. Well, there you go. There's a trip playing right there. That's a Nations Championship. That's the money right there. That's the tour. Yeah, it's a good tour for anyone to do it. Yeah, they've also got midweek games against the Stormers in August. That's the All Blacks tour. The All Blacks tour is in August, yeah. No, the Nations Championship, that sounds like a good one. No foreigners buy Springbok tickets before us poor folks. Oh, stop, Arctic. I have inside connections. I can get tickets. Arctic voted for July, so I won't complain about the heat. Well, Arctic, you know I will. You know I will. Yeah, so they've got 3 games in July, 4 in August and September, and then end of year. There's no rugby championship this year. So they play England on July 4th, Scotland July 11th, Wales on July 18th. That should be 3 wins. 3 wins from 3. Then they play the All Blacks in Joburg on the 22nd, in Cape Town on the 29th, at Joburg on the 5th September, and then the 12th they play at a venue to be determined. End of year tour, they play Italy, France, and Ireland. Okay, away. Yep, so they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 home games and 4 road games. It's hot. It's how they currently average. 37. That's too warm for me. And Kimberly, Keone, 70 Rand super chat. Thank you for that. Yeah, love to do a printing design for Bob shirt. Well, I need to do that. I need time to do this stuff. That's the problem. I just can't find time to scroll away. I'm too busy answering and trying to help all these refugees, and also do production and take care of veterans and do my taxes. There just isn't enough hours in the day. I mean, I've also got some personal stuff I need to do. I haven't gotten around to it. I've got to take care of my own health. So yeah, it's there's I would love to, and someone keeps asking about the finance video, which I haven't made yet. I put all my notes here, then I moved them over there, and anyway, so yep. No foreigners buying Springbok tickets. Hey Mike, thanks for the 70 Rand super sticker or super chat. May you all have a blessed day. That's the other thing. Next time I come to South Africa, I've got to get to Nelspruit. I've got to get to the Garden Route again. I got to make a good faith effort to get to Oranje. Yep. So that's places I haven't been in a while. July vote is purely selfish. Colonel needs to be in South Africa when I arrive. Okay, Cindy. All right. Hot and humid and Amazon Toady. Yeah, no thanks. Grandfather's brother gifted my mom a bound copy of the British black and white budget newspaper. Wow, that's pretty well. Just need to settle this nonsense. The English suddenly believe they're the best team. They're not even close. It's not even close. South Africa can play its second string and beat any country in the world, including Ireland. Listen to your live, says Vern. I have a request, please. Is it possible to do a follow-up interview with the 59ers now that they've said? I have. Okay, well, I haven't done an interview with all 59ers. I mean, I can ask if they want to come back. I've made the offer. There will be a follow-up interview with the Stoltz. The Stoltz family is headed my direction. We're going to link up in central Pennsylvania and in Maryland over the weekend. So the plan right now is I'll see them Saturday afternoon. It's a long drive. It's an 8-hour drive, 9-hour drive from where they're coming. So I'll see them Saturday afternoon and then see them again on Sunday. Looking very much forward to it. Yep. Have I been to Robben? No, I've never been to Robben Island, Theo. I have no interest in going to Robben Island. I've been to Mauthausen. I've been to Dachau. I've been to concentration camps. I've been to visit prisons. I've stayed in prisons and as a hostel and hotels. I don't need to see Robben Island. There's nothing there that interests me whatsoever. Yeah, the Oranje visit will be interesting because I'd like to see how I'm received. We have viewers in Oranje. I didn't even know that. And we, of course, treated Oranje fairly all along. And, of course, because I'm not a paraplegic who sits in a wheelchair who claims to be British but actually is Nigerian, and go to Oranje with my dark tan and claim that I was terrified for my life, I don't get 500,000 views like some people do. Yep. Yeah, thank you, Laverne. I thought it was a pretty awesome interview, too. But we'll be doing a live with the Stoltzes this weekend. Yep. We'll be chatting with them. Yep. Numbers never meant anything, but now the birds numbers mean even less. Don't know what you're talking about, Duvet. Yeah, one EFF supporter there. See if I can find him. Yeah, okay. Finance video. Stop giving money to the ANC. No, that's not the finance article. It's about people that want to repatriate their money out of South Africa to the U.S. come over here as refugees. Some people have a lot of interest in that, and it's interesting that I appreciate that people keep trusting me for it instead of doing their own research. That's pretty awesome from my perspective. But yep. So that All Blacks tour, which has 4 games, also has midweek games: August 7th, August 11th, August 15th, and August 25th. That would be really cool. So August would be fascinating because the one against the Stormers is early, so that's not going to be that great. But you could do the 11th, the 15th, and the 25th. So you could actually get the Sharks in Durban on the 11th, and then against the All Blacks, Sharks and All Blacks on the 11th in Durban. Then the 22nd, actually the Bulls on the 15th at Loftus, and then the 22nd at Ellis Park against South Africa, and then the 25th against the Lions there. And that would get you 4 games, 1 in Durban, 3 in the Joburg area, pretty quickly, yeah. Dachau was bleak, yeah. The memorials and life-size photos setting. There's a joke about Robin Island producing the most millionaires, billionaires. In Yan, people won't have money to go to your meet and greets. Oh, in January. Why won't they have money? Because they spend it all for Christmas? Well, see, part of the problem is I have the consulting requirements, and that comes in March and April typically, so it interferes with stuff. May, we have a big holiday that comes in May, and I've got responsibilities there. So I've come to South Africa in January, February. I've come in April, May. I've come in June, July. I've come in August, September. Done all those. So, who forgot their glasses? No, I've never been to Robben Island and have no interest in it whatsoever. I need to save this test list. Here we go. So I've got it. Okay. Copy that, put it in a Word document so I don't have to keep looking for it every time I want to talk about it. Oh, boy. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Oh, now what's going on here? That spacing isn't right. Okay. Oh, what's going on here? Now I got this space in here. What's going on there? Oh, this is messed up now. Oh, boy. I got to fix this again. There we go. Oh, that ain't right. Ugh. All right, I'll just leave it like that. That's crazy. There we go. Got it now. Just one more thing to do here. Damn it. Why does it do that? I have to fix this somehow. Oh, my goodness. There we go. Got it. My goodness. Sorry about that, folks. Stupid Microsoft. It used to be in WordPerfect, you could see all the codes. I love that. I loved you could save codes in WordPerfect. You could see all the tabs and bookmarks and all the carriage returns. You can do that in Word, but it's just not easy to do. So annoying. So annoying. There we go. Got it now. Okay, so sorry about that distraction. You're welcome, Charles. It wasn't really a news stream. This is the chat stream. This is why people got questions. Ask them here. Well, are you talking about Johan Ackerman? There's no team that will beat the Bulls this weekend. Are you serious, Conrad? Dream on, Dreamweaver. Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong. That's why I'm with the Stoltz family. I can't meet them until after that game is over. That game is over. I will meet them, yes, after that game is over. Yikes, that's so funny. That's so funny. Yep. Yeah. No team in the world's going to beat the Bulls. No way, man. No way. No way. I don't think we have any lineups yet for that. Let me take a look and see. Let's see who we got. Okay. Okay. Do we have the lineups yet? Oh, there's a couple of Springboks that might not be available for the game for the Stormers. Who are they? Okay. Damian Willemsen, Sasha Feinberg, Ngumzulu. Still in doubt. So that's going to suck if they're not available. The build-up to the Stormers versus Bulls URC Round 9 encounter in Cape Town this week has been clouded by controversy surrounding dispatching of 4 members of the Springbok coaching roster to assist the Pretoria-based franchise. That matter, at least the controversy created by South African Rugby Union's original statement, has now been settled. Bulls coach Johan Ackerman emphasized the speculation suggesting Springbok assistant coaches would be helping the Bulls during Derby week is unfounded. I never asked for that, and Rossi said it wouldn't be ideal. The thought that they would be in camp this week is ridiculous. I challenge any press reporter to get a picture of Bok coach at Loftus this week. It was never our intention. With that matter done and dusted, it's now a good time to turn to the match and the excitement they promised to deliver. Okay. The Bulls finally having their full squad available. Certainly the first time since Ackerman took charge in mid-year. The team from the north can field 12 Springboks in their starting 15 and a few more on the bench. The Stormers' Bok count will most likely only reach 8. Most exciting player in recent years step into the game's main stage. It was unpredictably Stormers man against the composure of the veteran. Sasha Feinberg Umzulu, 23, has played 19 tests since his debut against Wales in June of last year. He scored 9 tries, some of the most dazzling individual efforts, and entertainer par excellence. Pollard, 31, has played 85 tests since his debut more than a decade ago against Scotland. He has 8 Bok tries to his credit. These two, along with Monty Lubbock, look set to be the contention for the world. Monty Lubbock is still in contention? I mean, come on, give me a break. Give me a break. Damian Willemse versus Harold Forster. Damian Willemse is 27, is on the cusp of 50 test caps and a crucial playmaker, even though his utility role is sometimes highlighted more. Double World Cup winner. Harold Forster, 32, is uncapped and hasn't quite lived up potential he showed while playing under Ackerman at the Lions. Tie 5 versus Tie 5. The Stormers, as they did a fortnight ago against the Lions, can field a pack that includes Vernon Matongo under Hugo Fenta, Nietling Fouché, Salma Morat, and Ruben van Heerden. That's some serious beef. In stark contrast, the Bulls can feature an all-Springbok Tie 5. Gerhard Steenkamp, Johan Grubela, Vilkolo, Kobus Wiese, and Ruan Nordkia. Scrums will be interesting. Last 5 meetings, head-to-head, the Stormers have won 3 and the Bulls have won 2. Average points scored, 26 points, both sides. In the last 5 games, the Stormers have won 5 and the Bulls have won 0. So, the tries scored in those 5 games, 18 by the Stormers, 13 by the Bulls. Point difference, plus 58 for the Stormers, minus 86 for the Bulls. Okay, first try, 3 of the 5 games, the Stormers have scored the first try. None of the games, the Bulls have scored the first try. First points, in 4 of the 5, the Stormers have scored the first points. And in none of the 5 have the Bulls scored the first points. Race to 10 points, 2 of the 5 games, both have gotten the first to get 10 points. Excuse me, I got a tag driving me nuts here now on this shirt. Okay. Super Brew picks. I'll do mine right now while you guys are here. Why don't we do that right now? Super Brew, okay? All right. Let's take a look at my Super Brew picks, okay? All right. So, here we go. Super Brew picks. That damn tag suddenly. Wait, it wasn't bothering me all day long. Suddenly the tag is bothering me. All right. I'll give you a little eye candy while I look for that. Okay, there's a little eye candy. Hi, say hi to Zoe. Zoe's my AI assistant. The Danish origin, blonde-haired, blue-eyed vixen. All right, come on. Where's my Super? There we go. Screen. There we go. So we're okay. Zoe needs to go away. All right, URC Dragon Scarlets. Oof. Let's. I've got Dragons. I got Scarlets by 7, Cardiff by 14, Bristol and Sale. Okay, I'm going to go with Bristol in this one. They're at home, and I'm going to go by 11. Newcastle and Gloucester. Newcastle hasn't won a game. Gloucester's won 1 game. Wow, let's just go Gloucester by 5. Bath and the Chiefs. This one's a tough one. It's at home. They let me down frequently. The Chiefs are on a 5-game winning streak, but I'm going to go with Bath at home by 7. Northampton versus Harlequins. Should be an easy pick here. Northampton by 10. Okay, Leicester versus Saracens. 5 and 4. That's a tough one. I'm going to go with Leicester, and of course they'll let me down. I'll go by 6. All right, there's my picks for that. Okay, now let's go back to my to-do list. By the way, I'm really good at this. I got 80% success rate. Yep. So I'm good in that one there. So all my picks are in. URC picks. Let me go to my URC picks. I've got Scarlets by 7, Cardiff by 14, Munster by 7. That's a tough one to pick, but I'm picking Munster there, even though they let me down that last game. They lost 2 of the last 3 games. I've got the Sharks by 7 at home, and I've got the Stormers by 15 over the Bulls. I've got Benetton beating Edinburgh at home. I've got Leinster beating Connacht at home, and I've got Glasgow destroying Zebra Parm at home. And there's my picks for the URC. So there you go. So you see my picks ahead of time. I can still change before the game, but yeah. Van Gaan will never settle for an assistant coach position after a success at Bath. Only exception made with the Bucks. Yeah, it's true. Charles says, like the Sharks couldn't beat the Bulls. Is that? Oh, it's a Conrad. Okay. People are just pissed because he actually allowed his pride and swallowed and asked for some help. I'm not pissed. I don't care. The Bulls. I'm still pissed at the Bulls franchise for firing Jake White. Guys, I mean, I don't think you really know just how invested Jake White was personally and emotionally in the Bulls. He gave that franchise his all. I mean, very emotional. I was in the press room at Loftus on multiple occasions, and when we thought that Hussein's career was over, you could see it was like a father grieving over the loss of a son. It was tough. It was tough. I never showed that video. I never intended to. I have the digits. I won't show that video. The Bulls contacted all of us journalists who were present. We made recordings and asked us not to show it, but I'd already made the determination not to show it. The Bulls organization screwed Jake White. And I don't want to hear any crap about, well, he couldn't win the big one. Well, he can win the big one. You just need players to execute. It wasn't Jake White that made the stupid decision on the field not to kick 3 points in the championship game at Loftus. That was the captain on the field. And they wound up losing that game. And it wasn't Jake White that knocked the ball on 1.5 meters from scoring at the end of that game. And it was right in front of me. I watched it unfold right in front of me. It were the players. The plan was solid. The Bulls had a great strategy. They had the fitness. The players just didn't execute. It wasn't Jake White. Look, I'm not a huge fan of Jake White. I'm a much bigger fan of Henneke Meyer than I am of Jake White. I love Henneke Meyer's enthusiasm and emotion on the pitch and in the coaching box, and I like his approach. But I also like Rossi. But I'm nothing against Jake White, but I'm going to defend him against what the Bulls did to him. It was just so wrong to make him the fall guy for the piss-poor performance for the players, some of whom seem to be there for a paycheck and not for their spirit for the Bulls. Hi, Chris. We at The Solution, Doug and Lisa Garden on YouTube, hope you've been watching us regarding our country. If on your Lisa Garden. Lisa, you didn't finish your statement there. Are you still doing it? A solution. Okay. I'm not sure what that is. I'll look for it. Solution, Doug and Lisa. Lisa and Doug, the solution. Not familiar with your channel. Hope you've been watching. No, I haven't. There are a lot of channels, and I'm not. It's never come to my attention. This Mr. T channel came to my attention recently, but I wasn't impressed. Rossi is a champ. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Dirk. Depending on how things go, you might see Jake White back at the Bulls. Yeah. Arctic doesn't like Henneke. Hey, Chris Sean, what's going on, man? I hope that you got some resolutions and things taken care of today. Where did she go? Lisa Garden. Lisa, you didn't finish your statement. Please finish your statement. Now I'm intrigued. Inquiring minds want to know. Anita Herbala, what's going on? I'm okay, Chris Sean. What are you up to, man? Okay, so I did have more news stuff. Let's take a quick look at that. Oh, that's old. That's yesterday's news. I can get rid of that. I didn't know that was still open. Goodbye. That's gone. You've got mail. Protests erupted across Somalia at the Israel recognition of Somaliland. That's predictable. Not a surprise at all. Yep. Israel became the first and only country to formally recognize Somaliland as a sovereign state, despite the breakaway region having declared independence in Somalia in 1991. Large demonstrations erupted across multiple Somali cities, including Mogadishu, with protesters waving flags and chanting for national unity. But Somaliland has been part of Somalia for 3 decades, and suddenly they care? No, there's no humming sounds on my computer over my videos. I have picked it up a few of my prepare videos, yes. But the humming sounds, Theo, could be my refrigerator, which you can hear right now in the background. Most people can't hear it, but I hear it when I record. The editing software I use oftentimes just removes that. It does its best in the background. Yeah, it's the Matrix. It's the Matrix. Well, Lisa Garden never finished her follow-up. What happened there? Yeah, so I have a refrigerator in the kitchen, which is on the other side of this wall. My studio is a kitchen, and there's a refrigerator. My refrigerator is 30 years old this year. The new refrigerators suck. They're 2 open doors like this. I want a single open door. They're just crappy. So I don't buy a new refrigerator, but it kicks on the compressor and it makes a fair amount of noise, but it works, and it keeps things cool. So that refrigerator, I've got my money's worth. 30 years I bought that thing. I don't know, I must have paid $800 for it 30 years ago. It was in storage for long stretches of time when I was in Africa, but I've had it for 30 years. And well, I can hear it. It's driving me nuts. And I tune it out till somebody mentions it, or it stops. And now somebody mentions it, so now I can hear it. So I also have a college fridge in here. It's not the lights, though. The lights don't make the noise. See, the sound is still there. It's not the lights. These lights now, when these lights start to go bad and I have to replace a bulb, they start making that sound. Yeah, most people don't hear that sound. I hear it. I have very acute hearing. I hear on frequencies that most humans can't hear on. Not a boast. It's not a good thing. So, I mean, I hear acute sounds from distance like a freaking dog whistle. I'm like, yes, they use a lot more electricity, Philip, but they work. I'm not going to replace my refrigerator that works with a piece of crap that breaks in a year and is a piece of garbage. Yep. No, I do, guys. I mean, I've had my hearing tested. My last hearing test was just before my retirement physical from the Army, and I maxed out everything on the chart. I hate those tests because when I sit there and I've got that little thing in my hand where you push the button when you hear something, I hear my heart louder I can hear my heart with headphones on. I hear my heart louder. I can hear the quiet. I can hear the. I can hear that. And the computer's smart enough to know if you're BSing and you're just pushing a button. But yeah, I do have tinnitus, but that's not why I hear acutely. Yeah. So maybe the person who hears the ringing has got tinnitus. Yeah, no, Theo, I have amazing hearing. The hissing sound. Well, that's the snakes. That's the ferrayas. That's the deceivers and liars. The snakes are slithering around. Hope and trust the Colonel knows we will have freedom. All our history and all our wars are freedom for republics. Just hope our city is not some rare earth deposit. Yeah. Okay. Tiki Keyser gave 140 Rand. Thank you. Woo. Also hear my heartbeat. It is. Phoenix, isn't it really wild? You can, when you're in that booth and there's no sound, you got those headphones on and you got that little thing in your hand to push that, I can hear my heart louder. I can actually feel my blood pumping through my body. It's like I'm a vampire, man. It's pretty crazy. There's nothing in my ears. Okay. Yes, I have a Python here. Bosch make as a single door, excellent quality, low in energy. Well, mine is supposedly low in energy too. I still have the sheet that says that the energy rating, which was pretty good 30 years ago, but things have changed a lot in 30 years. Yeah, I don't want a refrigerator that talks to me. Yeah, we're both vampires. Exactly, man. I can see my canines. Here. See that? Very pointy teeth. I also got a couple pointy ones up here. They grow at night. We want to have your blood. Welcome to the program. Yes, I am the count. Sensory deprivation tanks. Yeah, that would not be fun. Well, thank you, Dougie Ray. Thanks for being here. Good to see you again. Yeah, Bosch is a good brand. If they're made in Germany or in Europe. If they're made in Asia, forget it. What's on the count? Tried getting my non-driver ID tag. Got rejected DMV. They need a... All right. What is a BRIA letter? I don't know what that is, Chris Juan. Send me a note on that. And I've got the information. I'm going to contact these people. That's another thing. I'm trying to do this, and I didn't have time today. I'm not going to have time tomorrow. And those people probably take Friday off. So, yeah. Yeah, Chris, send me a note on that. I don't know what a BRIA letter is. I have no idea what a BRIA letter is. Passed away, that was ANC spy. For those still alive, leave the groups. The money is not worth it. What are you talking about? Oh, it stopped. Do you hear it? Theo, you can't hear it anymore, can you? That fridge just stopped. It should, so that one never made sounds like that. That's the mini fridge I bought about 10 years ago. The university one, the little ones that are half fridges. You put drinks in it. I keep my drinks in there so they stay cold. That didn't make sound. For years it didn't. And about 3 years ago it started making sounds. It got older. But it works. Your previous manager had an old fridge that was 40 years old. That thing kept the drinks more cold. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I'm not getting rid of it. As long as it works, I'm not getting rid of it. Try getting my... Okay. There's Lisa. We at The Solution would be honored if you could find the time to watch our podcast and give us some feedback. Okay, that's what you wanted from me. Okay, well, it took you a while to respond, Lisa. I forgot about you there. Yeah. So, Thea, you can't hear it anymore, can you? If you can still hear a sound now, then you're beyond vampire hearing. Okay. Tolkien, this is just getting too much for me, thinking of taking a break from YouTube. What's getting too much, Tolkien? We're just talking about the Bulls. Is the rugby talk too much? I don't recall seeing in here. What's getting too much for you? Please tell me. For the last hour, we haven't been talking anything but about things like this, about my refrigerator. So audiology test, hearing was perfect, no issue in the middle here. Yeah. Crystals, but now my ears are blocking up. Well, yeah, wax buildup is a problem. Okay. So my hearing is so good it goes back 3 years. I don't know what you mean by that, but I'm saying that the sound stopped. No, Theo. Okay, your hearing may be good, but your listening is poor. 2 refrigerators. Full-size refrigerator on the other side of the wall, but when it kicks on, it's loud. It's loud, and I can hear it all the way in my dining room when I'm watching TV. It's really distracting, and you tune out, you forget about it. But when it stops, you're like, whew, it's a lot quieter now. And then I have a small refrigerator in this room, which is approximately 3 meters from where I'm sitting on the wall. That's the one you're hearing right now. It's stopped. The other one, it's complete silence here. There's no one here except me and you guys can't talk. Okay, so yeah, so not 3 years. Oh, okay. Yeah, it went right over my head, Tolkien, because there was no other comments, just out of the blue. So, can you help us get in touch with one another? I can email my contact. Leslie, who? See, guys, this is, look, I'm not picking on Leslie, but this is not helpful. Maybe, Colonel, Chris can help us get in touch with one another. I can email him. Are you talking about Chris Yuan? Leslie? All right, Leslie, send me an email. Service. It costs more to get something service than it does to replace it. That's their intent. It's a replacement society. It's not repair. No, they don't replace it. It wouldn't be worth my time and money. I can go buy another one of these cheap Chinese one for $180. It'll cost more than that for a service call, and there's no guarantee it'll work. Happens when you live in wooden house, paper walls. No, I have brick, and I don't have paper walls. I have wooden walls. So. Oh, my goodness, Lisa. Oh, your husband has a stroke. I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay. Well, no, I'm sorry. You started chatting, and there was a long gap there. And then I guess you had to go take care of your husband. I can take a look at that, sure. The people of today's service at Old Fridge will never be... Exactly. The Matrix. Yes. We have the Matrix here. Okay. I'm not familiar with that letter. Okay. Thank you, Phil. And... who was it? Was Leslie? No, it's okay. People bother me all the time. Some people are really cheeky about it. Most people try to apologize. There isn't a need to apologize. But like I said in my video, if you're going to write to me, please give me the information. I mean, 80% of the stuff I get from South Africans asking for help doesn't give me the information I need. People start, and this happened to me and that happened to me. And I'm like, okay, that's horrible. But I'm spending 10 minutes reading your email. And then how am I supposed to respond? And 50% of the stuff I receive is just people panicking over bullshit because they hear it in WhatsApp and in Facebook groups. And they're just, I heard this. Well, I didn't hear that. And I have better context than you do. But if you tell me, Mr. Echo, you take care. Didn't know you were here. LBR's got to go. No, I'm not muted, Maze. It's you. Maze, refresh your page. Yeah, I do have a lot on my plate, Leslie, but as long as you don't get pissed off at me for not responding, because that's the thing that is irritating when people are like, well, I sent you an email weeks ago, you're not responding. Well, first off, if you send me an email to an email address that I told you not to send it to, then, it's going to be a problem. So, all right, let me print this one out. That's from Lauren's. Okay, print that out. I have to start printing these out and putting them in folders, keeping track of this stuff because it's just too much. Okay, here, assistance, struggles. Oh, somebody in Alaska. Okay, well, we didn't send anybody to Alaska. Oh, they sent somebody to Alaska. Okay. All right. Well, I had no idea that we'd sent anybody to Alaska. So we have sent a family to Alaska, according to this family. All right. And they say that they're being treated poorly. So that's another one. All right. Well, there you go. All right, I've got an email from a Vietnam veteran here in America who is offering to help me with South Africans. So I'll add that to my list of people that we have available. Okay. Huh. Okay, now I've got an interesting email that someone sent to me. Yeah, so I'm looking here. Current, I need just the current page, not all these pages. Yeah, this is a full-time job. I don't even get paid for this, helping these people. Okay. Ah, somebody here sent me the agent's name. Okay. Okay. What else? And then people trying to help with the homeless person. Yeah, appreciate that. And here's someone else offering some help. There you go. This is some good stuff here. Okay. Print. All right. So I'm filling up my Rolodex with useful stuff. A lot of stuff's just come in as a consequence of me making that video the other day. So, yeah. And, yeah. Okay, Carl just sent me an email, so no unsightly emails yet. What do you mean by unsightly? No, I occasionally get nasty emails from that loser who's committed slander against me on repeated occasions. He's the original hater. No, I haven't seen that speech, Marius. Yeah, no, Karen, I didn't see that. But that person, someone who's in Alaska, sent me a note. Alaska is beautiful but expensive, and it's isolating. Great place to visit. I don't know if I'd want to live there. Dirk doesn't understand. It's because you're over 50, man. Why is Trump administration so long to sanction ANC and likes? They need to be punished very quickly. Well, Ferdosh, that's your view. That's not the view from Washington. There are repercussions to doing that, so... Do you know when we can expect for the state to be shared again and how many refugees were sent to which state? It's a monthly report. It should come out in January, late January, covering December. The most recent report we have is for November. Yep. So, yeah, then we'll know. And you're going to see a wide dispersal of people. I mean, I know there's a wide dispersal just from from my talks with Lily and also from the people in contact with me. He's the one that does the talking in our podcast. The podcast helps as therapy for him. Who is that, Lisa? Cold weather. Yeah, it'll be tough. Alaska's cold, man. It's beautiful. Neighbor's wife had a stroke. She seemed fine at first, then she got a tad rough. No, you got to take care of yourself, folks. That's why you got to have good dental hygiene. You've got to exercise. You've got to keep your cholesterol in control. Artie says, I told Maze to do a somersault backflip to get yourself back. Okay, LBR, take care. You guys are too much trouble. What did Leslie Laverne say? Do you know when we can expect this? Okay, that's who was answering. Okay. There's a reason Alaska features most of the alone seasons. Exactly. Let me see. Where is it at? Hang on a second. This will be easier to do it this way. Go to this place here. DS21. That's not where it's at. 2022. What's this now?
Wine tasting and sell it here.
Now this image out here is pretty iconic. The pathway there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's world famous.
It's especially if you can take it from that side.
Oh, coming the other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll catch it from that end, but yeah, because then you see the house there. But I know that's an absolutely iconic image that people all over the world have seen and know quite well.
Yeah, unfortunately it's raining now.
Well, it happens. You can't control the weather, can you?
Yeah.
So that was from 2022, my first trip back. That's at Chud Constantia. 7 seconds. That's not long enough. That's not worth the time. All right. So this one's for me. Oh, but this one's for me.
Yeah, this one is. And this is the new vintage, just been released about a week ago.
Well, it's excellent, but I'd be wrong if I said anything else.
And this is the really recent vintage, 2022 vintage. This has always been released every day.
That's water, I hope. Either that or Alba's trying to get me liquored up for a date. What's going on here?
That is Constitution's Captain Finest here.
So this one just came out. Sauvignon Blanc.
That's the gable. That's the front vision of the manor house. I don't know whether you've seen this. On the way out, it's raining. You actually just go back into that lane and just look back, because that's what you see. And that's why that's the main visiting point when you come to Groot Constantia.
But 400,000 tourists a year, that's pretty impressive.
No, it is. We form part of the Cape Town Big Six tourist attractions.
There's Juan Muller, who was the filmmaker.
Maybe six. And it's Stable Mountain, the waterfront, Robben Island, Kirstenbosch, us.
So yeah, that was at Groot Constantia. That's with Nadia, the director. Yes, my beard was long. It was actually longer than that at one point. Yeah. There are mechanics you need everywhere, Vimpy. I mean, my car, the check engine light came on. I don't have the diagnostic equipment to find out what the problem is. Hopefully it's just some sort of sensor that shorted out. I don't know what's going to cost me. So I went to a car place today and scheduled an appointment for Monday. I think Alberta will join the USA. I don't know, Orangutan Juice. They got to get independent first, then they'll have to make the decision. Santa's thinner brother with that beard. Sorry for not being on the channel for the last few days. My phone battery blows up and then I smell lithium fumes. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Yeah, Loretta, then don't do that. Don't hang on. You need to get yourself another phone. Save water, drink wine. Yes, Laverne, the beard was quite long. Yeah, it's quite long. Ryan De Jager wants to know what's Somaliland. Somaliland is the northwestern part of Somalia that was under British colonial rule. And when Siad Barre's government collapsed in 1990, they declared their independence and have had a functioning government with courts, with police forces, with a military, with port authorities, with customs immigration. And they've been a functioning society for 30 years. And they avoided all the conflict and chaos that happened in Somalia proper. And almost no country wants to recognize them, but they should. Somalia is not Somalia. It's just nonsense. The problem is with Somalis is they want a greater Somalia. They want a big chunk of Ethiopia, which is actually where Somalis live, plus all of what is on the map is Somalia, including Puntland, which is a self-declared independent republic as well, but not really functioning. Yep. Hey, what's going on, Renell? What do Wayne O'Dear want? Okay. I hate when you send them the Chinese face emoji. Wine is for beginners, true. Some of us moved on ages ago. Others are still swirling, sniffing, and pretending. I think this is where I say it's Bialeka. Let me see if this is it. But by volume, it's been impressive. It's a big market, so I appreciate that. Oh, I got to tour their wine collection. But you know, in the coming 30 or 40 years, depending on what's happening in Africa, could potentially have a huge with that. Ugandans have been frustrated for a long time. I live in Uganda. They're big coffee growers, but almost nobody in Uganda drinks coffee.
this is what we can do well. Decide for yourself.
They say it's mother's milk.
I don't know about that. It's quite good, but I don't know if it's mother's milk. If your infants are drinking this, you've got a problem.
It depends on how old you are.
Yeah, that's that video is 23 minutes long, so that's a lot of data. Yeah, lithium batteries are nothing to play around with. They've taken down planes in the past. Got to be careful with lithium batteries. So let me see. I've got how long is this one? Oh, that's just 6 seconds. That's not worth the time to do it. Let me check this one. That's 33 seconds. So this was there. You know, I got the full tour. Jean Naudier took me all over. It was fantastic. The only problem is it rained that day. And Juan did the filming. He made that documentary.
Right in season, we can take busloads of people through the cellar without disturbing the activity on the ground.
Yeah, Old Oak. Yep. Yeah, so that was 2022. Skulk Burger. Okay, well, funny you should mention that. Funny you should mention that. Where I'm looking for. Here we go. Funny you should mention that. Do you mean this Skulk Burger farm on Velbedoct? Is this the one you're talking about?
Fearless men who jump and die, men who mean just what they say. The brave men.
Is this the place you're talking about, Velbedoct? I don't want to get a copyright claim here for my own cover version.
I need you on stage. You gotta see what a soldier looks like. If an officer says soldado con sa in America. Now see it. This way. You know the words. All the wings. Silver wings upon the chest. These are men, America's best. 100 men.
So, do you mean that Skulk Burgers farm? Yeah, no, I've been there. I tried to help Skulk get rid of a swarm of bees that were hanging out in the tree next to his building there. Yep, I interviewed Skulk. Yep, and Skulk Senior, and I've met Skulk Junior a couple of times. Yep, met him in Philadelphia when he played for Saracens. Got a photograph with him, and then saw him at Loftus. Yep. Yeah, Loretta, someone's. Yeah, you got to get another phone. We don't want you to, have that thing burn up on you. That's going to be bad. Okay, thank you, Chris John, for that, and I'll see what I can do if I can check into it. Yep, Bertie Voldmarans, that's the place, Velbedoct. That was really cool, Sloth Puppy. It was, yeah. Mad Max says, Colonel's been around and met South Africans we will never have a chance to meet. I definitely have had that opportunity. That's what's so amazing about South Africa. Oh, they definitely hate hearing my surname in some groups. There's definitely some people that hate hearing my surname. And I don't know why. I treat everybody fairly. And if people are respectful, I treat them with respect. And I've done a lot for a lot of people, black, white, and brown, South Africa. Yep. So I don't know why anybody would not like to hear my name. Maybe because I don't let people get away with lies. Maybe that's why. Some people like to lie. Okay. Some people lie. It's midnight here now. It is now the last day of the year. Midnight. December 31st. I'll be on today, later in 10 hours with Ronaldo for his New Year's Eve program. Immediately after that, we'll go to my program for the news. Then I'll take a short break. I'll run out to try to get my my referral done so I don't have to pay for the injection that comes up next week. And then after that, I will pick up my steamed crabs, come back here, enjoy my steamed crabs. Then we'll do a late afternoon stream, which will be approaching midnight, so 11:30 for South Africans. Probably do it for about an hour or so. Get past midnight. So if you want to be somewhere for midnight, safe, off the roads, away from the drunks, you can be right here on Chris Wyatt Africa. We'll be doing that for New Year's Eve in South Africa. Then I have my radio program from 7 to 9 p.m. And then I go into the Veterans Organization briefly. And then we'll be back here for about 10 or 11 o'clock at night to do one more. It's going to be a busy, busy, busy day. Busy day. Look at those legs. Yeah, sexy legs, man. I know you're jealous, Arctic. Yep. It's the Schuss beer. Been telling you for years. Colonel is equally grumpy to all. I respect that. Thank you, Devet. Devet, you notice I stood up for you? You were being cheeky and somebody took offense to it and I told him, okay, it's all right. Relax. He's just trying to be cheeky. Did you catch that? I stood up for you. Yeah. You can't really put the lithium out once it's on fire. It's contain the heat. Yep. So excited for the new year. It's going to be the best year yet, says LD USA. Well, that's probably because you're in the U.S. now. I'm here if I can be. Yeah, I know you are, Maze. I hope you're feeling better today. Yeah, I like that Mad Max. It's like the scene in Lion King where the hyenas say Mufasa and they shiver. And that's how it is with the ANC and they hear Wyatt. I don't know if that's true, but that's funny. That is funny. Yep, silver wings upon my chest. Yeah, no, Velvet Doc, been there. Got the T-shirt. Been there. That was fantastic. And that was kind of a funny story in and of itself because Steve, I wrote to Steve and said, hey, Steve, I'm coming. Are you performing anywhere? And he said, well, I'm performing at the Parle, at the Tal Monument. I'm like, that's awesome. I'll come. So I was going to buy a ticket. And then the cowards backed out. And so Skalkberger Sr. offered Velbedoct. And so Steve took Velbedoct instead. I'd never been there. So I rented a place in Wellington. And then I found my way to Velbedoct. I got there early. But before I went, I'd said to Steve, I said, oh, Skalkberger's place. I thought he was talking about Skalk Jr. I said, well, can you give me his phone number? I've wanted to interview him for a long time. So he gave me Skalk's number. And I call him, and it's a gravelly voice. I'm like, that's not quite the same voice. And I realized, this is Skalk Sr. He goes, yeah, it is. I said, oh, sorry, I thought it was Skalk Jr.'s number I had. And he goes, no, that's my son. I said, I know, but that's his number I thought I had. So, yeah, but you were a Springbok. I think you have like 6 tests. Can we do an interview? I said, sure. So I interviewed him in his home, but that was before I was more advanced with my microphones and all that stuff. And that was pretty good. And then we're sitting there and he says, but you're here as a guest of Steve, right? I said, yeah, I bought a ticket, but I am a guest of Steve, but I did buy a ticket to support the concert. And he goes, well, where's your wristband? I said, what wristband? Oh, your all access wristband. I said, no, I don't have one. We need to fix that. So Skalk went and got me an all access wristband. I sat down with one of his other sons and his wife, and we hung out there, and I met all of them. They were really cool. And then I was walking around. There's a lot to the story, but it was really cool. So that experience was a lot of fun. That was with Steve. So when I come to South Africa, I try to combine my trip with things that will interest other people. Like I went to Pokov Polisica's concert there with what's his name from, I'm trying to blank, Francois van Kok. I interviewed Francois van Kok in Boston at the coffee shop. That was pretty cool. I've gone to the Cape Independence Advocacy Group and to Hein Marks, interviewed Hein Marks at his home. Phil Craig, I've also interviewed, and also Cape Exit, all those guys. Jack Miller. I have gone to wine estates. I've interviewed farmers. I've interviewed citrus people up in the citrus doll area. I've interviewed Bantu Holomisa and Velenkini Hlabisa, Johnny Steenhuisen. Yeah, I've never gotten Helen, never interviewed her, but I've Interviewed lots of movers and shakers in South Africa. Invited to watch the ball drop. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'll be so overwhelmed. You mean the ball drop? What, in New York City? That's tough. It may not be the battery. It could be the charger's too weak. Theo, it could be lots of things, but it's a dangerous thing to play around with there. Keyless entry is dangerous until you put tape over the start button. Huh? May the new year bring us freedom from BE. Yeah. The Burger family pretty much take over Fontaine for the holidays. I didn't know that. I've also been to Fontaine. That was on a recommendation for Ronaldo. I found it to be fascinating but boring. But I had a good time there nonetheless. Jock, I got to meet him. His mom, I got out of the car. I parked my car across the street from the lodge I was staying at, and there was a package store behind me. And this lady came out speaking off her cons, and there was no one else around. I had my back to her as I was taking my suitcase out of the boot. And I realized she was talking to me. I turned around and I said, hello. And she said, oh, you're the Colonel, aren't you? I said, yes, I think so. She said, oh, my son loves to watch your program. I said, wow, that's fascinating. And I went over and I said, where's he at? Well, he's in the car. I said, so he lets you go in and do the shopping? He didn't help you? She said, yeah, he's in the car. I said, let's go embarrass him. So went over and got out. This guy was huge, man. He was like a lock and a frickin', tight head prop all combined. He was the size of a house, and Jock was the right name for him. It's like something out of an Australian, Crocodile Dundee movie. And I met him, a really nice guy, and I'd scheduled a meet and greet there, and there were 4 or 5 people said they were going to come to it in Fontaine. So I scheduled it for that afternoon so people didn't have to drive in the dark. And then nobody came. Nobody came. But I mentioned Jock, and I said, you're welcome to come. We have one scheduled. He didn't even know about it. He came later on after I'd already eaten some food, and then we hung out, and we had our own informal meet and greet. Then that night, I drove all over Fontaine, took some video, took some photographs, and then looked at the houses, and then I went and looked for dinner, and I found a place. It was very difficult to find where this place was because it was upstairs, and the directions were very poor, and everything downstairs was closed. I didn't realize it was upstairs. Then you couldn't walk up the one side. You had to go up, drive up on this elevated parking thing. I finally got up there and went inside, and I wound up meeting people. Some drunk come over and was chatting with me. Oh, that was fascinating. Not. And then the waiter there used to live in Pretoria and had moved down to Fontaine, and he was one of the viewers of my show, and I met the owner. It was really cool. Yep. I didn't know they took over Fontaine. Must remind Elon Musk of that too. I had a drink 4 hours ago. Blame it on jet lag. Or did you just fly? You didn't tell me that. Anyway, do you think we'll still be talking about all the same issues? Yes, we will, Buster. We'll also be talking about more things, and we'll forget about things. I mean, we've forgotten about a lot of things that happened this year. It's amazing. When I'm making videos and I'm thinking about what I need to put in, I have to go back and research. I forget the insults that some of these things did. I forgot all about, Fikele calling everybody a car guard, that condescending racist remark. Veroshka got another email. Congratulations. When the Colonel says a big man, you know he's a big man. I was surprised to see the Colonel. You're not a small guy. No, I'm tall and I'm a little wider than I was. I'm still not obese, but I'm normal size now, which is weird for me. I'm used to being a tall drink of water. Yeah, no, that guy was huge. So the first time I ever felt small standing next to anybody in South Africa is when I stood next to Victor Matfield at Linwood Bridge. that was an experience. Man, Victor Matfield is a tall dude. He has me beat. Yeah, I love going to Linwood Bridge. It's fun there. Have a nice time. Parking's a pain in the ass if you want to park above ground, but it's pretty nice. What's that? I always forget the name of that restaurant there, the coffee shop people love. Yeah, I'm going to do a recap, but I can't find my list of the videos I said were the top 5. I remember a couple. Rob Herself was one of them. Neil De Beer was another. Yep. So go for fingerprints on January 5th. Okay. ANC has Wyatt androphobia. Maybe. I don't know. They shouldn't be if they just do. Yes, you like the food there. I do, Arctic. I also like the vibe. I feel safe there. And I also like the Safari Outdoor. That's why I really like it. I love going to Safari Outdoor. No, LD. I didn't take that as it. No, look, I'm just freely admitting I'm wider than I should be, and I don't like the photographs. Some of them actually looks like I'm kind of fat in some of them. No, I mean I'm used to being a very skinny guy, so it's very irritating for me to not be rail thin. But with the hip out of commission, I can't exercise every day. But the hip hasn't given me any trouble for several days now. Maybe Arctic is onto something. Maybe the sugar in the Starbucks was giving me inflammation. Maybe there's less inflammation now. Oh, please. I've seen you there one time at Linwood Bridge. You gave me Druvors, and I loved it. Arctic gets credit for turning me. For 30 years, I turned my nose up at Druvors, and then Arctic bought them for me, and I felt guilty because he bought them for me. And in desperation, a few nights after that, I was starving, and it was late, and I didn't want to go out because it's dangerous in South Africa, and I'm like, damn it. Well, I do have those Druvors that Arctic gave to me. Let me try them, and I'm like, damn, this is good, man. I went through half a kilo of it right there. That was some good stuff, man. That's some good stuff. Oh, you think that's bad, Maze? Arctic tried to turn me on to that Celsius drink, which has 221 grams of caffeine in it. Talks van der Linder and Cobus Vies. Yeah, well, Cobus is like this, though. No, they are massive people. Victor is a gentle giant. He's a really cool guy. Yep. Quality of quantity when it comes to divorce. Yeah, you give the best hugs. Maybe one day we'll have another hug this side. Well, thank you. No, and I'm a hugger. You know, it's kind of weird. I mean, with my childhood, you think that I would be, you know, standoffish from people and not want to engage with people and be an introvert. And I was an introvert. It's fascinating. I was very much an introvert when I left high school. And then I went to college at 17 at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio in 1982. And the world changed for me. The world changed for me. Yep. Yep. I weigh myself for the first time in years. I thought it'd be around 65. Only 50. Wow. Wild card. I drank one, flew for 28 hours, get home, and drove for another 8 hours. Just take your medicine like a big boy. That stuff is vile, man. I poured that one out in the front yard. All the grass died. I got a dead spot in the front lawn now. I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. But I did pour it down the sink. And I heard the plastic kind of evaporating. Yeah, exactly. Your daughter tells people to wear T-shirts. Wear a sign. Did you say you're a hunter? I didn't say that, but yes, I've hunted my lifetime. Absolutely. Yep, I grew up on a farm in my high school years, not my entire childhood. And Southeast Ohio, we had squirrels and pheasant and quail and deer and groundhogs. But you don't hunt groundhogs to eat them. You hunt them to get rid of them. They're a nuisance. They dig these big ass holes, which will damage your tractor when you're driving through a field. Yep. All right. So, wow, folks, we're over 2 hours. I didn't realize that. It's crazy. Like watching a toddler try lemon. How do you get through being an introvert? Sometimes I wish I could be more outspoken. Varoshka, that's a very good question. It's maybe it was just my natural inclination, and we're all endowed with certain abilities by our Creator, and those abilities are either promoted or suppressed or fostered or encouraged or not encouraged. And it just, I was so excited to be on my own at 17. I never had any money. In high school, I didn't have a car, which most American kids wind up with in high school. Cars, the kids across the street from me, both of them got cars in high school when they were 16. I didn't get that. Lived on a farm, so I was kind of stuck out there. Never got a class ring, never had a varsity jacket, even though I played varsity sports. It was just, I never had anything. So before I went to college, I went and picked up my student loan, which was $2,500, which was a fortune back then. I mean, it was a lot of money. I'd never seen that kind of money. So I went to the bank and they counted it out, and they're like $2,261. I'm like, excuse me, it's $2,500. Where's the other $239? Oh, that's the funding fee. What do you funding fee? Oh, the federal government takes that. So you mean the federal government just made money on me borrowing money to go to college? Yep. That's why they have the program. That's their fee to guarantee that the loan will be recovered. So anyway, but I took that money, and that money's for college, so it can be spent on tuition or food or lodging, whatever, and books and other things. So I didn't have any clothes. I had like two pairs of jeans, living on the farm, a couple T-shirts, and a raggedy pair of shoes. So I went and bought some fresh clothes, and a pair of gosh, I was so thin though. The tight corduroy, slacks I had, man, they were tight, so skinny. I had like a 28 inch waist or something like that. It was crazy. And I got dropped off at campus and I walked everywhere and I set up a bank account at Bank One and got my ATM card. First time I ever had it was early 80s. And I started experiencing life and just being exposed to all that stuff. Some of the people I met, it just changed. I came out of my shell. And then after a year of not doing well in school and screwing off, I went in the Army and wasn't completely an extrovert. Became an extrovert later on. Yep. So did you also milk by hand? Yes, I've done that by hand. You have to. If you're a dairy farm, you have to know how to milk a cow by hand. Yep. But it's very boring. Oh well, I didn't do it very often, Mad Max. You're right because you're gonna get that constant motion there. So yeah. Tinky, it's fine. You got to go. Sorry, you're running out of data. Okay. Oh yeah, my Wi-Fi is finally fixed and my fiber is finally fixed. Man, that's a blessing. Stop being an introvert. Just watch Trump a few times. You'll get a hang of being confident and outspoken. Yeah. No, that's the problem. A lot of people, some people don't like me because I'm confident. Apparently that hurts people's feelings. Why? Why should I not be confident? I mean, I've walked a lot of miles in this world. I've done a lot of things in this world. I've helped a lot of people in this world. I've achieved an awful lot in this world. Why shouldn't I be confident? Confident and cocky are two different things. I'm not cocky. I never take anything for granted. That's why I don't gamble. I don't gamble. I have no control over that. Yeah. You had to pay $200 to resign? That's crazy. Anyway. All right, well, I'm kind of hungry, guys, and I want to go watch Benidorm. By the way, I finally figured out how to get the Amazon. Thank you, Les. Thank you for your membership. I finally figured out a few nights back how to turn off those annoying ads. So Amazon Prime has really started screwing its users. They're trying to suck $3 a month out of us because they just inundate you. You watch a 20-minute sitcom and you get 8 or 9 minutes of commercials. It's unwatchable. So I tried to do it on the Roku. It wouldn't work. Then I decided to do it on my app. I couldn't figure it out on the app. I finally did a Google search and figured out how to do it in my browser, and I turned it on the subscription. For $3 a month, I'll pay $3 a month, but I'm sure they'll raise it. So I'm not bothered by those ads. It's really annoying. I am 500 plus, almost 540, 54 away. Let me see if it's still that far. 551 subscribers away from 120,000. And we're not going to get to 100,000 unless we have an amazing New Year's. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe on Ronaldo's stream we can get a bunch of people come over and help us push to 100,000 for the year. That's my goal. But we're behind. I think the data is a trailing a day. I don't think it's current. Let me look and see. It says, so for 2025, it says we have achieved, it keeps telling me 98,000. Let me refresh and make sure that's good data. Yeah, it still keeps telling me that I'm at 98,900. So, yeah, that's old. So we won't know until after January 1st whether I made it or not. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. Anyway, well, hopefully we can make it to 100,000 for the year. That would be such a cool achievement. But it's still 99,000 would be great. Seems like he was hunting terriers when we were mere whippersnappers. Well, the difference, guys, with ads on YouTube and ads on Amazon is a multi-billion-dollar corporation that's making billions of dollars off of the annual fee that's now $149 for Amazon Prime, which was $79 when it was introduced, and guaranteed 2-day delivery for products. I don't get guaranteed 2-day delivery anymore. And then they added video, and it's free, and you can watch it for free. Then they started charging for aspects of the video. Then when that was enough greedy money for them, they're making tons of profit. Then they started putting ads in there, and that's fine, but you should have an ad-free program. If you don't pay for Prime, you should be able to watch the video and just with ads. Anybody. That's what Amazon should have done. They should have made Amazon Prime available to anybody as long as you have an Amazon account. If you're not Amazon Prime, then you have to watch commercials. If you're Amazon Prime, you shouldn't watch commercials, but they're screwing us. The difference with YouTube is that this is my time, it's your time, and YouTube has to make money for the infrastructure and the data that they pass around and spread all over the world. And, it's not unfair that I get some compensation for my time, and that's what the ads are for. I don't control it. They run the marketplace for that. So I know it's frustrating, but it's a big difference between ads on Amazon where a deal was made and then they broke faith. Amazon Prime broke faith. I didn't break faith. You sent me a WhatsApp. Probably your last one. Well, that's not good. How am I going to respond to you if it's your last one? Okay, Loretta. Yeah, all right. Jeez. Well, Loretta, what you need to do is before your phone blows up, Send me your location. Send me through your WhatsApp before you shut your phone off your location. How are we supposed to reach you if someone's able to help you? Someone might be able to help you. I'm not promising you anything, but if someone's able to help you, we're not going to know where to find you. Your phone will be off. But if they know the location, they might be able to help you. All right, send me your location. You know I won't expose it. Wishing all viewers a happy and prosperous New Year. Stay safe. If you know how to do a pin, that's perfect. And then at least they'll get people near them and they can find you if we're able to help. Wheel of Time. I tried to watch that, but it really didn't do it for me. Okay. You can pay for YouTube Premium if you have the resources, no ads. But and I also get money from that. In fact, let me take a look and see how that's gone this month. Analytics. Let me take a look at this. Okay, revenue. It's been a good month on the channel for revenue, and it's picked up on viewers too. Late, we had a slow portion during Christmas. Okay, so over the past month, super chats have now exceeded my ads because the views haven't picked up enough. So super chats are more money than the ads. And I'd say it's about 28% or 30%. Then watch ads are closely behind that. Memberships still there, and shorts feeds got a little bit from that, but now it's not showing me I'm looking for the premium. Premium 7.6. So 38% of what I've made on this channel this month came from super chats. Thank you. 29% came from ads, although that number doesn't match the number I just saw, so that's much lower. Memberships, 16%. YouTube Premium, 7%. All gifted memberships, 4%. Super stickers, 1.9%. Short feeds, 0.4%. And super thanks, 0.2%. So, yeah. So, anyway, just to give you an idea where the revenue comes from. Well, I get ads, too, watching YouTube. I survive. Oh, are we offline? Oh, no. Okay, okay. What the heck? I thought it was broke here. Okay. She doesn't have an alternative number, Theo. So that's the problem. That's the problem. Only in America, white South Africans and Europeans do people pay for movies anymore. Just ask the nearest teen to shortcut the feed. Yeah. Mad Max. These are the shoes that Mad Max wears. Okay. Come on. Strasburgers. Never heard of it. Okay. Schmolke, Strasburger, Duplessis, and Duplessis. Rhenish missionary, Baron Theopold von Wurm and Reverend Johann Gottlieb Leipold. Huh. Why is an Asian person? Oh, no, it's a colored. I thought it was Asian. Color folks. No, I don't know these. They've never contacted me either. So where are they at? Shop. Let's see what they've got. Well, they're a lot cheaper than the Feldskona from Freedom of Movement. Oh, I like those red ones. Oh, those Ethan Hawks are nice. I like that. $2,700. Yeah. $2,700. Yeah, that's a little pricey. Check those out. Those are cool. Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, I never heard from them, and they've never reached out to me. I'm not sure how it works if I get more here. Probably because you get charged differently there. At Fun Rind Story, they have a guy that shows how their wine barrels are made. Each maker had their own melody that they played with tools. That's cool. If you download on YouTube, you also watch ad-free, but then you need to disconnect from your internet just to be sure not to be charged a second time while watching download. I'm not sure what you mean by that. It's Thai ads. YouTube Premium saved my ears. I'm sure. Anyway, well, that's interesting. I'd like to tell their story. If anybody from Strasbourg is around and wants to touch base, okay, contact us. Let me see. Okay, they're in Clan William. Okay. Oh, they're in Clan William. Well, that's another spot I need to hit too. I've driven by Clan William all the time. Okay. Okay. All right, I'll have to get a pair of those boots when I get there. Well, Buster, we did a poll on that earlier. I'm not sure when I'm coming, so we're working on that. Okay. Strasburgers. Oh, you're from Clan William. Okay, Loretta. Okay. When are you visiting South Belleville is a bonus price boot comfortable. Well, I've done the Jim Green. I've got to actually got to send the stuff I did. So, not. Well, Conroe, we'll see if it's this year or not. We'll see. Anyway. Well, yeah, not this year, 2025. I won't be there in 2025. It's December 31st. It's the last day of the year. All right, I'm going to have to wrap it up here, guys. And you all take care. And you guys take care, all right? Appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot. Happy New Year. And don't forget, we have Ronaldo at 5 p.m. South Africa time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard, then my news program, then a break, and then we'll have the New Year's show at about 11:30 South Africa time, 4:30 my time, and then my show. So busy, busy day. And the radio program. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. God bless and have a good night. Appreciate the super chats. How do we do on likes? We got 334 likes. It's cool. A little bit of super chat revenue. A couple new members. Thank you for that. Y'all take care. Always a pleasure. God bless.